What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I'm Brea Thorne. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Myself, doing okay, sorry, there's a little delay in getting started tonight, but we're here. We're ready to go. What's going on? Cherokee Vapors, how's it going? Oh, already. All right. Braxton 1823 coming in with a tier 3 sub. Let's go, nerds. 21-month streak. Braxton, that is crazy. Thank you. Thank you very much. That is absolutely bonkers. I appreciate it, buddy. Tito 1x1, how's it going? I'm doing well. My pockets are not. 2026 in a nutshell. Exiled Wolf, how's it going? Very thin chat. What do you think about Cruiser Draw? We'll talk about it. At this point, 90% of people have heard about it, so we will give it a whirl. We'll give it a go. But it's not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Grayman 6969, how's it going? Welcome. Drittism over in YouTube land. What's going on? Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. Chris, how's it going? I guess you're having to leave, but sorry about the delay there. We'll see you when you get back. And Observer of Thoughts, how you doing? Yeah, we're here. We're streaming, and we're gonna see if we can help anybody out. Honestly, guys, it's looking like just now is the time to buy. Just if you can't do it now, like that's basically the messaging. You gotta get it while you can. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, and every day a little bit worse. But you know, it'll level out, sure, at some point. But seriously, they're like, oh, we don't understand why people hate AI. Destroys industries and small businesses. We don't get it. What do you mean? Causes environmental problems, does not provide a usable product. I mean, honestly, guys, if you just understood the technology, you'd like it. Yeah. I just my first PC. Cool. I don't know what you did, but you did it to your first PC, so that's good. Bought or built or something. Either way is fine with me. Jolin, how's it going? Welcome. I got most everything today except for the graphics card. You're going to want to do that. Like, sooner rather than later. Right now, graphics cards are at reasonable prices. That is changing. Yo, what's going on, Mikey? How's it going? I thought 2025 was bad. I know of at least 3 small businesses that had to close their doors because of 2025. Did I say 2023? 2025. I thought 2025 was bad. Like 3 businesses that I know of. You have to understand, there are small boutique builders that open up shop that we never hear of because this market sucks so much they can't sustain. And they just never are heard from. There's some that we found out about in late 2024, early and mid 2025 that came in and said, hey, we just started up. We built really cool PCs and it was really cool. And then we haven't really heard much from them. This industry is grinding small businesses to dust. And I have people in my comments who are like, oh, just get Alienware and you could save $200. Like, I get it. It sucks for consumers too. Like, I get it. But like the real artists, not to say that the builders at big system integrators don't love what they do, but they don't really have an environment. They're not in an environment where they can really practice their art. They just have to build as many PCs per hour as they can, per day as they can. The boutique builder, 2026 is not going to be kind to boutique builders. AI is great. What's up? Pocket Shop, how's it going? It's the best way to burn tons of electricity, use up tons of drinkable water, and rot the brains of everyone. It's wonderful. Yeah. Oh, it comes tomorrow. Okay, when you said you got most everything, I didn't know you had already purchased that. That's good. AI equals overrated. I mean, there's some that's pretty cool, but the problem is everybody's trying to just like get these billions of dollars of investments from, you know, private interests and all these different things. They're just trying to get all the money they can while they can. And they are spending it on server memory and storage. 2026 is going to kill the gaming industry. Grave Man, it's not going to kill the gaming industry, I don't think. No. The thing is your big SI, the biggest companies are going to stay around. They've been through potentially worse. I'm not kidding. I'm talking about like 2020, 2021. You could barely get a graphics card to save your life. And like, that's like RAM. There were three companies making ICs, right? But then there's also a lot of companies selling them, yada yada. GPUs. There was 2 companies making GPUs, and neither of them could get them in the hands of consumers. Cherokee Vapor says RAM and memory. That's the same thing. Cherokee, RAM and memory are the same thing. Are you talking about RAM and storage? Same understanding of GPU. Do AIBs matter that much? No. Get whichever one you like more. Between ASRock and Power Color, yeah, just get whichever one you like more. YK Poison, what's up? How's it going? Ben, I'm I alone in hating stupid AI? Actually, that's the popular opinion. No. You're on the bandwagon, Ben. Like everybody hates AI. It's not a unique, like it's not a unique, so quirky kind of feeling. Everybody feels that way. Literally everyone. 2020 killed 2 of my local computer shops where I could buy parts and tell people to have custom machine built. Fry's kind of bankrupted themselves, however. True. What's going on, Peter? How's it going? Mac Valley, what's up? How's it going? Rami suggested my set 96 gig was $330 several months ago. Just checked, and same set is over $1,000. Yep. Sorry, I meant am I alone? I figured that. The Reaper GPU is not very good. Okay, Cherokee, you can't just say that. Like you gotta come out with why. You have to back, like that's not what we do around here. If you say something's not very good, the thing you say right after that is why it's not very good. We back up the things we say. Yes, storage. Yeah, I figured that. I just got myself an Apple Watch Ultra for Christmas. Nice. I never had a smartwatch in my life. Imagine if NVIDIA stopped making GPUs for PC. Yeah, that's something that we've been speculating for a couple of years now. I don't think that they're going to do it. You don't give up on something where you have 90% of the market share. And maybe at some point in the leather-clad brain of Jensen Huang, somewhere in there, he remembers where he started, what he started with. And it wasn't this. It was with enthusiasts and gaming PCs and that kind of stuff. That was what got him to where he is today. And I think on some level, he has to still remember that because he doesn't have... You watch AMD. AMD didn't found Radeon GPUs. It was ATI. NVIDIA is just a GPU company. They don't make CPUs. They'd like to. And they're doing something like that. But by and large, they are a GPU company. AMD is CPUs and GPUs and APUs, which is a combination. And like you watch AMD, and when they do an AMD keynote, they'll have different people come up and present different things. Like Jensen likes to do the whole keynote. If he was not interested in gaming, he'd just hand that off to somebody else. Probably. I mean, he still, at some point, he's not going to give up on something where he's dominant, where the company's dominant. They're not going to do that. That's my guess. I would hate to be wrong on that one, but it's a possibility. There was an article, Intel reached 1% market saturation in dedicated GPUs, a milestone. Yeah, or Chaos, that's a huge milestone for them. It is a big deal. I honestly, in case NVIDIA like flips their lid and just like goes all data center, like AMD better be ready for that, because that's a lot of money for them that opens up. All Factors 5, what's up? I wish AI was made from pizza instead of computer technology. Are you trying to wish a pizza shortage on the world? Are you kidding me? I can live without gaming, man. This is kind of a lose-lose situation. Since prices for RAM aren't going down anytime soon, consumers will still continue to purchase overpriced RAM. Therefore, when RAM supply does become stable, the new MSRP of DDR5 will be a lot higher compared to what it was initially. Tito, yeah. I was actually talking to TJ of Alexander PCs on this, about this. We were on a call the other day. And I was like, this is motherboards all over again. And GPUs. It's price creep, but what'll happen is it'll surge and come back down, but it'll still be a solid double-digit percentage higher than it used to be, but we'll all be so thankful that we can afford it now. They get away with it. You used to be able to get a solid motherboard for like 95 bucks. 75 bucks. No more. GPUs. You used to be able to get a decent GPU for 200 bucks. Less. That's where I draw the line. I go to war for pizza. I didn't know how you'd feel about what I said there, Mikey. The Reaper has poor build quality and it runs rather hot. Okay, there you go. So Tito, there you go. There's your answer. Yes, but what if there's even more money in AI? Why make any PC? Ben, there's no if there. The same amount of silicon that goes into a 5090, they can make 10 times that if they put it towards data center. And those are really loose numbers and probably underestimating the difference. But they've continued to do it anyway. That's been for years now. That's been the case. The AI boom, though, has only been for the last 2 years, maybe. And they still launched 50 series. The AI boom was affecting 40 series too. 50 series has been out for a year now, just about. Give it a month, it'll be a year. They're going to do something with the silicon, and NVIDIA's second highest revenue comes from PC gaming. Yep. Let me ask y'all this. Does Microsoft need to... Listen. This is actually really good, okay? Let's just bring this down. Listen. Does Microsoft still need to keep making Windows? It's a problematic product. It has issues all the time. They're having issue updates. It's a product that they have to put so much effort into. But do you think they need to keep making Windows? Do you know how much of Microsoft's yearly revenue is accounted for by Microsoft Windows? Is it 60%? 55%? 70%? What do y'all think it is? Oh, hold on. Wrong button. Here we go. It's 10%. It is 10% of their revenue per year. Why do they continue to do it? Because they have an ironclad grip on the market, and they're not going to let that go. It's just that operating systems don't make that much money. The data they sell of yours that they get from that makes a lot of money. One of the main money makers from Microsoft is cloud data storage. Why do you think every 3 days your Windows computer doesn't let you get into Windows and instead says, "Hey, finish setting up your PC. Get that cloud storage going." And then you're like, the only option is to either do what they say or click "Remind me in 3 days." Why would they be so insistent on that? Because it makes way more money than you just having Windows. Their cloud storage services make triple the revenue that Windows does. Just about. Yeah, there is a setting to stop it. I'm saying most people aren't going to find that, and they're not going to do that. But so they're going to experience it. And it's just a minor inconvenience. But yeah. Yeah, no, OneDrive is a huge moneymaker for them. So with that in mind, you have to understand that there are loss leaders for companies. And in a way, now when I say that, that's the incorrect term for what Microsoft Windows is for Microsoft and for what the GeForce line is for NVIDIA, because they make money on it. But it's such an egregious difference in revenue that it might as well be a loss leader because of opportunity cost. Opportunity cost, therefore, loss leader, because they would make more money taking what they put into that. For Microsoft, it's the effort, all that. But for Microsoft, it makes a ton of sense because so many of their products are tied in to Windows. They have to have it. NVIDIA doesn't have to have their, but also the consumer side, the GeForce cards is where they test things there. They run things there before it goes to, like, they've developed a lot of things out of that, and they're going to keep using it as a base for that. But in a sense, it is a loss leader for them because they maintain market dominance. That looks good for shareholders. I have a feeling that, like, say you had 10 shareholders in a line, 10 NVIDIA shareholders in a line, right? They don't know anything about gaming. They don't know anything about AI. They just know the words that make money, right? But or you know what? No. Forget that. No. They are knowledgeable, right? They know NVIDIA's past. They know how NVIDIA functions. They know how the market functions. Let's put it that way. Let's give them a little bit more credit than they deserve, probably. I would wager that more of that, like a majority of those 10 shareholders, would be upset if NVIDIA killed GeForce than the ones who would be happy knowing that everything was going to AI. And because brand identity is of value, it does matter. And when you own an entire market, you don't just walk away from that. They're at what? 90%, 95, 96%, an insane number to walk away from that market. It would be basically killing a market because AMD cannot handle the volume that NVIDIA puts out. They can't. Maybe they could, but it would take a couple years to ramp up for it. Intel is not really in the minds of your average consumer, not the type of person who is sitting here watching someone talking about computers as something that you do for leisure, right? But the average person who just like, I just want to play like Black Ops with my friends or whatever, they're going to see Intel GPU and they're going to be like, huh? Doesn't this thing have a graphics card? It just says Intel. That's my CPU. That's the good one, right? And that's like, seriously, I'm not making fun of that kind of level of knowledge or lack thereof. I'm not. Those are the people that make this market thrive because it's the majority. It's the majority. The majority of people who buy PCs are not knowledgeable about PCs, and that's okay. That's fine. We're delving into it. That's what we do. In fact, I think the industry kind of relies on the fact that a lot of the consumers are not knowledgeable in the products that those companies make. But just understand that when it comes to a snapshot of a company's yearly revenue, some of those numbers would really surprise you. And our assumptions aren't always spot on, I'll tell you. It surprised me when I learned about it. Bigger issue than NVIDIA and their GPUs is TSMC basically has no competition with their most advanced tech. Jolin, that's the same issue as NVIDIA. It is like a mirror of that issue. I would say, though, that, yeah, I would actually say you're correct. In terms of optics, it's the same. When it comes to the data center, there is competition. It's just it's not really strong enough. Because NVIDIA keeps innovating, they're ahead. They're ahead by like a generation of technology in some cases. Hopeless Creation, what's up? Welcome. When it comes to TSMC, yeah, that is a major problem. Thankfully, the CHIPS Act from a couple years ago has been helping. We are getting chip fabs going up, spun up here in the States. That's going to help a lot on this side of the world. So, yeah. Chanel Cerberus, what's up? How's it going? Sorry, I was on my soapbox for a little bit. And I removed their AI crap as well. Yep. Posted from Linux. Mint tends to be an LTS, so it's not the best distro for gaming. But yes, you can run many Windows games on Mint. Some games actually run under Proton. When under Windows 11, they need a mod as they won't run. Interesting. John Paul is going. Griggins, what's up? Welcome. Welcome, Sailor. Sorry, I know it's you. I'm just gonna keep calling it whatever I see is what I say. Sorry, it's the YouTube thing. NVIDIA is so crushing AMD. Well, yeah. Average person picks iPhone or Galaxy phone. Yeah. That's how consumerism works. Once you've established yourself as the thing, like, hey, give me a Coke. What kind of Coke? Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Way back when AMD bought ATI, they had a chance to get NVIDIA instead. Imagine if they had. Then we would see ATI at 5 trillion market cap. Actually come to your stream to improve my knowledge on regarding PC. There you go, Christopher. There you go. That's what's up. I think you should watch as much content as you can, because you don't want to just base everything off of one person's opinions. There's people out there who disagree with me based on different experience, different knowledge available to them, different biases, things like that. And you should basically expose yourself to as much info as possible so that you can, get a good broad understanding of things. But yeah, AMD is a CPU company that makes GPUs as a side hobby. Well, no, see, they're a CPU company that also owns a GPU company. Brigands. That's what they are. The Radeon team isn't even in the the Ryzen team is in Austin. The Radeon team is in Canada. So, we are P22. What's up? Welcome. Robert, how's it going? Frowler, how's it going? I know my wallet is already boycotting. Yeah. Oh, Shanali, you should see this. So oh, there's an ad. Never mind. Just barely missed me saying that. I don't know. I'm gonna wait till the ad is over. I really wish I had more control over those on Twitch. Sorry, that Twitch viewers. I have a lot of thinking to do. 2026 is not just threatening small PC building companies. Also, what's up, Alucard? How's it going? So when we will need to boycott Micron now? Well, how? You can't boycott a product that isn't available to you because they're not making it anymore. Oh yeah, well, we're not going to buy your consumer desktop memory. Yeah, we're not making it. Yeah, so what do you think about that, huh? Okay, so well, I have a lot of thinking to do when it comes to 2026. This is not just threatening to kill small PC building companies and even some medium ones. Like, nobody is safe from this. And it could be me too, my channel too. If people stop coming in, people just are like, I don't even want to look at PCs. Maybe I'll come back a couple years from now. That's it. Channel dies. If people cannot buy PCs, I can't give them discounts that support what I do. That's no support for what I do. I'm done. I have to go and, hey, you know that IT admin job you're talking about? Is that still open? No, damn it. I'm gonna be back on that. Like, it's like that. Like, what can you do? So, Chanel, I was saying this but then an ad hit. I messed up when I was opening that box on Monday because there was another promo card that was like behind this one. Here, hold on. I'll show you. Check it out. So it was behind this one. Oh, I have it on manual. It was behind it, and I actually put it in the top loader with it. This Oricorio EX was just there. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. It was just there. I was like, my bad. I didn't mean to ignore you. This thing is crazy. Hold up. Like, you can see the texture on it. I like the ability. It's excited turbo. Like, what? But yeah, I also found out this thing, fresh out of the box, is worth like 65 bucks. Raw. That's just crazy. Yeah, they really do have some of the best art. You should see what is it? The Dream set that came out. It's still just Japanese right now, but man, what they're doing with it is really cool. Yeah, these are the pulls I got on Monday. This is still such a cool trainer card, man. But yeah, that Phantasmal Flames is crazy. Phantasmal Flames. Like, I got hit after hit after hit. That was really good. That was really good. Anyways. That might be the coolest art I've seen on Charizard. Yeah, I even like that more than the chase card for Phantasmal Flames, which is the Mega Charizard EX. I like that more because it's more of a pop art style kind. Not really. It's I don't know what the art style is. It's just dope. I think for 2026, I'm going to pivot and start refurbishing PCs. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, Mikey, honestly. Besides which, here's where the move is. If you can get your hands on, like, if there's companies that are selling their used office PCs, those things are going to have, if they're modern, they're going to have DDR5 in them. And big companies will sell like a truckload of these computers for pennies on the dollar. And you'll have in there M.2 storage, you'll have DDR5. We are going to have to lower our standards. Like, me with my, like, oh, if it's not DDR5 6000 CL, if you're not getting 10 nanosecond first word latency with Ryzen 7 or 9000 series, like, nah, man, what? I have DDR5. You can tell me something? I got RAM. Like, that's it. Oh, wait, can we see the Zard again? I think that was earlier, but yeah, sure. Here we go. Let me get real close to it. There you go. And this was just the card that came in. This was a promo card. This came in the box, and it's apparently 65 bucks. Crazy. Just crazy. It's no wonder those freaking sets are like selling for so much. Those boxes are, if you look at scalper prices, it sucks. We will all be no abs soon. Well, yeah. Pokemon cards have such crazy awesome art. That's what I enjoy about it. So what I have left, I only have one Phantasmal Flames. Like that's what's on the cover is that Charizard, by the way. I've only have one Phantasmal Flames pack left. And then I have a bunch of, well, I have some 4 Journey Together, 2 Surging Sparks, 1 Destined Rivals. And then there were 3, I think, 3 Mega Evolutions packs in there. And then I have from my previous box, I have a bunch of Mega Evolutions packs, but I kind of want to finish this stuff out before I get to that. But that's if I have anybody to help. How am I going to reward myself for helping people if no one's going to, like, people are like, I'm scared to buy a PC now. I basically have to make a video saying buy now or not at all. That's never my mentality, man. It's like buy when you're ready. Buy when you know what you're looking for. Like you think about, no, it's like 2025. Like that's, I can't give better advice than that, because the industry has shown me whatever I can imagine is the worst thing that can happen for the industry. I'm wrong. Like there's worse that can happen. So let's talk about the Micron thing. TJ Sparks, what's up? PC trading cards to see if you can pull DDR5 foil. Yeah, it's getting like that. Yeah, we are PFC. It's crazy. I have a friend working at Dell Norway. He has like 50 PCs in his garage. Tell him to take the DDR5 out of it, or DDR4. That's worth a lot too. And that's like basically gold right now. Or it will be next year. Maybe hold on to it. It's like an investment. Always wanting to have the maximum amount of RAM that I can have. It seems to be paying off now. Now that there are slightly higher capacity DDR5 than my current ones, maybe I can ride this out. The thing is, most people can ride stuff out. You need to go into your Google Chrome if you're using it. Go onto like memory saver mode. Do things like that. Y'all got to understand, like right now, like Black Friday is over. Cyber Monday is over. What's going to happen to the Legionnaire? The base price stays the same. Believe it or not. The base price is staying the same, but the upgrades are going up because TJ can no longer afford to offer, the industry. No one in the industry right now would be able to afford to offer a $200 upgrade from 32 to 64 gigs of DDR5. Like that is like half or less than it's a lot less than what it actually costs to do that upgrade. It's crazy. So. No, don't do an entry for giggles. You're good. Well, I haven't even looked at the form. We might have someone who came in and they were like, I don't have to say any words in chat. I'm just going to put in a form and hope he magically knows I'm here. You do. If you want help, you got to talk in chat. That's part of the deal. Sorry. I'm not going to lie though, guys. I've thought about doing like just starting up a Braythorn TCG channel or something just to do Pokemon cards, or doing other content aside from this just to keep afloat. And who knows, maybe I'll be better at that than I am at this. I don't know. I know a lot more about PCs than I do about Pokemon cards. That's a big deal. It's good to know, unless I frame it as, hey, I'm starting this journey. Let's go. I fill out the form even though I'm pretty much set on what I want now. If you haven't before, then sure. It basically is like me putting fresh eyes on what you're looking at. I think if you've already done it, which you might have, right? Then no, you're good. You're good. Natty, what's up? I don't know if you remember about that horrible hardware PC building company that I bought my current PC from. Pichao, right? They hit a new low. Now they're using AI generated content in their ads, and it's just wow. They can indeed go lower. They basically don't even have people in their ads anymore. Natty, I don't know if you've seen this, but for some reason, like my first video talking about Apex gaming PCs did really well. My subsequent ones didn't, I guess because people are like, yeah, we know they're bad. But in, I think the second one, they had started using AI images instead of just showing PCs that they've built. Which as a company, listen, listen, entire internet, okay? Listen to me. If you're a company that makes things and you use AI images to show those things, instead of just showing the things you make, you should find some other form of income. Don't do whatever you're doing now. You're not well suited to it. You should do anything else. If you're a marketing company that is telling companies, hey, you don't need to take pictures of that stuff, that's like a whole afternoon. Why don't we just represent your company in the absolute worst way possible? Yeah, that's not good advice. You need to find a new marketing company. So you're just suggesting to build now and not wait? We are, yeah, pretty much, yes. Like, there are no... oh, yeah, that's right. Hold on, let me finish what I was saying. Natty, what I was saying was, in the second video I did on this company, I keep, like, cutting off to different topics, like, right when I'm getting to the point. In the second video I made on this company, I have, like, a 2-minute rant just completely roasting this AI image that they had on their front page of Apex Gaming PCs, and it was hilarious. They removed it after the video went up. Which, like, that's something. At this point, I might go into video game streaming or something as well, since I don't know how often I can keep making PCs if RAM is gonna price customers out of buying them. It's just crazy that it's RAM, right? Like, DDR5 was crappy, but DDR4 was available, and like Intel had the right idea where it's like, hey, you can get DDR5 or DDR4, and AMD was like, no, all DDR5 all the time. And that was rough. And a lot of people didn't get onto AM5 at first because of that. But after that, and after that, like around that moment, so before that, DDR3, DDR4, RAM was fine. I mean, when every new RAM standard generation comes out, like, it is a little expensive. But anyways, RAM is also, it's just kind of a foregone conclusion. You know, so seeing it be such an insane price increase, it's really bad. It sucks. It's like, if you won't put effort and money into making your company presentable for the consumers, personally, I don't think you will put any effort into money into providing good products and support to consumers. I'll avoid your company even harder. Yep. I mean, a company that builds PCs can't manage to build a PC and take a picture of it. I showed also that for all the PC pictures they had on their site, it was just pictures from the case manufacturer. It wasn't even PCs they had built. I don't know for a fact that this company has ever built a computer. How would I know? They don't show them. See, that's the thing, Mikey, and that's something that I've been talking about. Like, right, yeah, we can complain about prices all we want. Right now, at least we can buy it. Believe it or not, I'm regretting getting a 5090 and 9070 XT Red Devil Limited earlier this year. It cost me $5K. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing, well, at least, you know, Fowler, the 5090, if you got it early in the year, you paid too much. If you bought it in the last couple of weeks, you paid too much. If you bought it anytime in between those two times, you did okay. If you're going to use it, if it actually, you can use the VRAM. Z-Mascar, what's up? Welcome. There's a ton of HP DDR5 sticks on offer up here locally. Go for it. Those are not generally going to give you crazy speeds, but it'll run a PC that requires DDR5. That is our standard now. I need to replace my RX 5700. It is old. Well, right now, Dridism, right now, this very second is the time. Not this very second, but within the next couple of weeks, you're going to want to do that. You can actually get really solid cards for around MSRP. AMD is a little touchier on that. 9070 XTs are like volatile sometimes. But like 5070, 5070 Ti, there's things like that. Yeah, whatever your budget is. Just get the best cards you can right now, because Next year is not going to be the year of, not just going to be the year of price hikes. It's going to be the year of PC hardware famine. Oh, but look at the new thing our little AI can do. We don't care. We just want to game and have fun and or make things, create art, real art, like do things like that. We want to do this. We want to. Why? What you're gonna see a surge in, you're gonna see a surge in people getting like minimal PCs or laptops and just using cloud gaming services. That's what you're gonna see. So, you know, like I still feel, even though it's been around for a while, I still feel like Shadow PC is not as well known as it should be. But there's like GeForce Now, things like that. Dridism, I would feel the same. Having a pure disdain for AI, I would feel the same. However, Neurosama, there is no black and white here. Okay? Without AI, we would not have Vettel and Neurosama. Like, seriously, guys, that is it's just some of the best entertainment out there. Like, that's just good stuff. If you know, you know, which you probably do because a lot of people watch them. Oh, Chanel filled out the form. Nice. That reminded me that Yongyi reported that Micron apparently completely abandoned consumers for AI. So DRAM. Well, yeah, we were talking about that. So here's the thing. I said I was going to talk about this before we get into it. So here's the thing about the Micron thing. Okay, Micron is giving up on them making RAM for the crucial brand. The crucial brand for consumers is going away. Micron sells RAM ICs, the chips, to other manufacturers like your Corsair, your G-Skill, okay, to make their RAM. They didn't plainly say they were going to stop doing that. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But they are just, you know, they're not a full third basically of the market. And they're going to stop making their consumer memory. They might still supply to the prices are going to continue to go up because they're going to charge. They're going to be like, well, if this isn't going into desktop and server memory, we want more money. And then Corsair is going to be like, we have never had a problem charging people a lot of money for what they shouldn't be paying that much money for. We got you. Okay. I haven't seen them explicitly say they are no longer selling product to, you know, as an OEM for other RAM products on the market. So it's not as dire necessarily as it might seem. Like, you think about it. This is not exactly like EVGA leaving the GPU market, but that did happen right before 40 series, okay? There was an impact. It was felt. And to be fair, they're not the manufacturer of the original GPU. They were an add-in board partner. So you had PNY buff up their consumer side. You saw Zotac up their game. Basically, when there's a vacuum in a market, the other companies are like, we want that money. So it may be that SK Hynix or Samsung decide, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna make stuff for AI, yes, but we're gonna scoop up some of this consumer market. We'll see. It's not as, I mean, like, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not the end of the industry. It's not the end of the gaming. The end of the gaming PC. Okay, that, if it does come, is going to be more drawn out and painful than just suddenly, oh no, now 30% of RAM ICs are just not going to go to, well, like, that's one manufacturer. They were already not putting, it's not, like I said, it's not black and white. Okay. A tech YouTuber. had 5090 Fry's PSU because of a cable he decided to use from a previous PSU. So what? He used a 12VH PWR instead of the 12V 2x6? That's not good. You don't want to do that. But, I mean, I guess there are probably a lot of people doing that. Replacing people when we should be making more people, Druidism? That's an interesting way of saying that. Laptops with soldered right. I was talking about laptops for a bit. AI helped me a lot. Well, that's good. AI is now being used in fire solutions for missile defense systems. That's where I mean, there have been investments from government, military, things like that in AI. So that was going to happen. I'm surprised they don't just try to increase production on the products. I guess PC is a small market comparatively. It's not about that. It's about their capacity, their scale, their capacity for output. Essentially, they can choose where, like, they have these materials and this manpower and this production capacity. They choose where they're going to aim that. What makes more money? Data center solutions. Done. So there's been shifting happening as the boom happened. Can AI go back to Will Smith eating spaghetti badly, please? It's more of a foreshadowing of what's to come. I don't know. We'll see. This is one thing where the AI bubble just needs to burst already. And yeah, there's probably some people out there who will be harmed by that. But there's many more people who would benefit from the market stabilizing. But yeah, I just wanted y'all to understand, like, Micron is not, they didn't plainly say, yeah, there's no more chips going to Corsair or G-Skill, whatever. None of that. They didn't say that. They said they're shutting down their consumer side. Okay? Just don't buy crucial memory. I mean, you're just losing one option off the shelf. Now, the question is, what does this make Samsung and SK Hynix think? Matthew and A, how you doing? Welcome. YouTube app is acting funny, no audio or randomly, or chat UI doesn't load. Tame, at least you know that you can be in Twitch chat now. If that's causing you problems. Countdown to people using laptop memory on desktop. Adapters. SD-RAM adapters. Is my 4070 Ti Super still going to be good for 1440p gaming down the line? Sure. I guess. Matthew, you know there's thousands and thousands of games. Some will be harder to run than others. It's not the GPU's job to be good. It is actually your job to understand how to adjust settings and keep your drivers updated, learn how to adjust settings per game, find that balance to where you like it. Because you can actually wreck your own performance right now in almost any game. Well, not almost. I mean, there's certain games where it's just like it's going to run out of toaster. You're fine. But you can go in and just set everything to ultra and not even think about it. Or you can go in and start balancing out this. Learn what the settings are. You will make your hardware last much longer. There's a thing where I was a lot more into the car scene. And like anytime I would see someone who's like a really good, like a master mechanic or something like that in a shop, in a mechanic shop, they drive the crappiest cars on the road. Like, how? How do these cars turn on and drive? Like, it's crazy. But it's because they know they know how to keep a car running. They know how to keep a car running long past when it should have been retired. That's kind of how you need to be with your PC. And you know what? You're going to have a good time. And if you can actually adapt, if you start learning what each setting means and how you can adjust them to where it won't affect you in a way you don't want, but it benefits you in a way you do want. So start looking into that and take it into your own hands. They also hate working on their own vehicles. I can relate. True. Well, true for some. The only universal thing I've kind of seen is that most like really experienced mechanics that I've met drive beaters, that they just keep going beyond their years. Maybe they have a toy at home or something, like a fun car at home. They're not driving that to the shop. Tech Blacksmith, what's up? Kusharam is very good, though. Actually, Frowler, in the DDR5 era, the three manufacturers are kind of all on par with each other. Samsung, Hynix, and sorry, SK Hynix. Sorry, I got confused there. SK Hynix and Micron. It was all kind of this. It was all very similar performance. So Crucial is good, but there's also a lot of other very good RAM. So it's not a big deal. Sakura Valley, what's up? Greetings, Purple Enjoyer. I am that. You got me there. I should have said they're daily. True. Rurutu, what's up? But all the AI on the GPU and it doesn't auto-configure itself. Rurutu, it's not the GPU settings. It is the game settings. Talk to game devs about that, okay? With them and honestly, games will auto-configure. It just doesn't mean that it's the best configuration for your system, but it will try in some games to do an auto-configuration kind of thing based on detecting your hardware. So, but all scarce. Black Week, I don't care. I buy parts when I can afford it. All scarce Black Week? Are you talking about what? Okay. Sorry, Frowler, I didn't quite understand that. I like to change graphic settings depending on the game. That's what you got to do. And if you're willing to do that, your hardware is going to last you a lot longer. So, most of the time, a mechanic is driving customer cars he is working on and fixing it. Really? I guess that's one way. I mean, usually you see him go around the block in a car to see what's wrong with it, but driving it like on a daily basis is kind of weird for someone else's car. Same. Always drove a beater to the shop. Engine was always nice. Paint, not so much. That's the thing. Is like you look under the hood. It runs great. JH, thank you. I like my beard too. Imagine if I didn't. Peckish, what's up? How's it going? I only drive my 1968 GT40 on the weekends. Oh, yeah. I can't, like, I get classic car collectors and whatnot, but most of them, it's expensive. Most of them are older people who have, like, had to build up to that over time. And it's like, some of these cars are hard to get in and out of. Why are you doing this to yourself? As someone's always had a crappy computer, tweaking settings is literally the first thing I do every single time I launch a game for the first time. I go through every setting and make sure it runs as best as it can, even to the point of reducing game's resolution to like 800 by 600 if I need to. Yeah. People are going to feel differently about this based on preferences. Some people want the highest frame rate they can get and it can look like a potato, you know? They don't care. Some people like more visual fidelity. I feel like usually the best experience is a balance between the two. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Anyways, let's get this list up here. Okay. Okay, so we actually have 3 people who have filled out the form. Sorry, Shanala, that's my bad. I was saying that stuff without knowing that, but JH5773, who likes my beard, I saw that you're here, so you will be first. I know that We Are 22 was also saying something just a second ago, right? Not a second, but a couple minutes ago. I drove a 1990 Buick Century 20 years ago. I know car misery. A 1991 Volvo 740 GLE driven by Jim O'Shea has famously surpassed 1 million kilometers. Yep. There's a few million-mile cars now. Well, kilometer, I guess. I miss my 1988 Mazda RX-7 FC Turbo 10th Anniversary Edition. Was it the 88 or the 87 that was 10th Anniversary Edition? One of those two. Forgot the year. It was so long ago I had that car. I miss it. It was the best car I ever drove. Tan May, thank you for the nice comment there. If you're enjoying the stream, if you're still here, it's because you like it, right? So you like the content, you like the stream, or if you're JH, you like my beard. Any of those work for me. But if you're watching on YouTube, you can also hit the like button. First stick car I ever drove was a 94 Miata. Great car to learn stick in. Honestly, a great car to learn in. The other cars I recommend learning manual transmission in is not a car, but any of the 90s lightweight pickup trucks, like a Ford Ranger, something like that. Great for learning stick shift in. 100%. Usually a nice soft clutch with a pretty clear point of engagement, and a lot of motion in the actual stick shift. So you can kind of really burn that into your memory. Okay, this is first, second, third. Although some older or foreign cars or whatever, some have. You might have dog leg, something like that. But anyways, 6'2", 300 pounds, packed in there like a sardine. It worked though, didn't it? That was a taxi. Nice. Yeah, here was late to the stream. I was too, so you're good. Can confirm any mechanic and my cars are pretty old and just keep going. I hate working on my own stuff. That's what I'm saying. You do the minimum to keep it running. You know what that thing will do. There's some mechanics who will like take pride in their, this and that. It's got to look, I'm a mechanic. I can't be walking around with like this thing. No. It's like, oh, that knock, that's just saying hi. It could do that for another 2,000 miles. Not gonna be a problem. Then there's that kind. Would there be any major effect on the GPU market if EVGA was still in it? Probably not. Other than there being still a great source for GPUs and some of the best customer service you'll ever get from a PC hardware company. John Paul. My most fun car ever. Go-kart car. Opel Corsa 1.3 GT Slam. That sounds fun. Okay, let me mark this down here. And you know what? You too, Shanala. There we go. All three all here. So if you got to go at some point, all good, let me know. I am going to be doing what I've been traditionally doing. We're going to start with ripping a Pokemon pack. Then we'll get into helping. And you're going to be first, JH. And then we'll do your, looks like maybe a Micro Center PC. Maybe not. We'll do yours. And then we are, yeah. So what I do is just sort of lighten things up around here and have a little fun. Before, between, and after I help people with builds. We do a little Pokemon card stuff. Hope you don't mind that. I've been having fun with it. It's been a nice change because I've been doing this for years. Shoes had to come off to fit, though. Such a fun little car. Funny enough, I've never owned a Miata. And that, to me, that's surprising. I like small, peppy cars. That's like my favorite thing. All right. So, last Phantasmal Flames. Let me get this focused. The reason I'm not using autofocus, by the way, in case you're wondering, is because it keeps focusing on the desk mat for some reason. So this way I can set it and forget it. I mean, I know where my focus is. But yeah, so this is in the, I think, 3 packs of Phantasmal Flames opened up. I got these 2 hits right here. So it's hitting pretty consistently. Let's see what this last one does. Let's get it. Oh, That's way down there. All right. All right, basic energy. Cool, cool. All right. Boltund. Haven't gotten this one yet. That's cool. Baniri. Have gotten that. Togedemaru. Vibrava. We got the regular Dawn. Non-hollow. Non-full regular art. To go with the full art. Crocodile. Meloetta. Reverse Charmander. Smeargle and... Oh! What? Hell yeah. It's not the full art, but that is Mega Charizard XEX. Let's go. The one I would actually play. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that's awesome. It's not the full art. It's fine. That's fine. This is still sick. That's the one I would actually play. I wouldn't, you know... This would not live in a top loader, you know, necessarily. I don't know, unless it shoots up or something. But let me actually check this real quick because I'm curious. That is nice. That is nice. I like that. That's a great card. Where are you? There we go. Yeah, nice. This is one of those where it's just like, oh, that's a sweet card to play. Hell yeah, it's like $5, but like it's just a dope looking good card to have in your deck, probably. I'm gonna learn the game. I'm gonna learn it really well. Just so you know, I'm gonna actually try picking up this game. But that's just a cool card. That's a great way to close out my packs of Phantasmal Flames that I got. That's very cool. I'm happy with that. Hell yeah, there we go. Let's get to it. It is not over 9,000. In Norway, we have roundabouts everywhere. I got Frowler talking with the whole car talk. That's why IBM true car enthusiast has no radio. Easy listens to an engine. Robert, I disagree. That's only one way to enjoy a car. Is no music, just listening to the engine. That is one way. I like music when I'm driving. It's like being in your own music video. Are you kidding? It's awesome. It's rad. It's like being in a movie. Come on. If you've never given yourself those kinds of moments, you are missing out. In my opinion. Your opinion, just listen to your engine. Not really my thing. I like road trips too much. That's a long time just listening to an engine. Okay. So, JH. Okay. I will say this. So, looking at yours, you want a white PC. For gaming, pro gaming, esports, coding / game design. And for ultra wide resolution. And you want there, you have chosen 3 options here that kind of clash with each other. And I'm going to explain. Okay. Instead of choosing, when I asked you whether you live near a Micro Center or not, you have three options there. You can put no, you can put yes, and then put the location. And then there is a third option that says yes, but I don't want to get my PC there. You did not choose that. You just chose yes. So you're telling me I want to get my PC built for me at Micro Center, right? Then you chose between a price to performance PC and going boutique, which some money, instead of all the money going to CPU, GPU, just the two big numbers that you care, if you just are into price to performance. That's one option. You chose the other option, which is boutique, meaning it is more money is going towards the other parts in the PC being higher quality, having more, basically it's a smaller builder, smaller company. They produce fewer PCs, but you get more attention to detail in your own build. You get more personalized customer service, and just generally in some, some ways that are difficult to quantify, a better ownership experience. So you said, I want to buy from a boutique builder, which is not Micro Center. Micro Center is not an SI. They're a parts store that also can put the PC together for you. They don't even give you a warranty. You have to pay extra for it. You get like 30-day warranty from them. Okay. And then you also said, after saying you want to go with a boutique builder, then you put a link for a Skytech system, which is literally a high volume seller of price to performance machines. So I'm not sure what you want me to do. Because not that, if you're going to say it doesn't matter, because I see you said it doesn't matter. You made three choices. What's your top 5 favorite bands? We're not talking music now. I'm helping you out with your PC stuff, but it doesn't matter. It could be pre-built or any website that has the option to build based off my preference. Okay, but you literally made choices, though. So let me see what you were looking at here. Oh. You did a custom build. Did you put this together? Is this the price that you ended up with? Okay, I got to ask you real quick. And I ask this all the time. This is normal. But what is your actual max budget for your build? Because you put in a range of $4,000 to $5,000. Usually it's actually $500 increments. But when you're at this budget, it's just, I wanted one that covered more people. But what is the actual maximum number of money dollars you want to spend on your PC? Like a number, not a range. Not like $4,500 to $4,750. No, just a solid number. That's the maximum. What is that going to be? What's up, Bone Shock? How's it going? Prowler. You guys hear me say stuff all the time like, I don't want anyone saying if you don't build your own PC, you're not a real gamer, blah, blah, blah. Here you are in chat saying, a car is not a real car unless you side intake and cat blown away. First off, I don't know what that means, but those kind of terms don't work around here where it's like, this isn't a real this unless it's this. Like, what are you, the blank police? Since last time you said 5090 was overkill for 4K gaming. Right, it is. So what's your max budget for your PC is the question I was asking. The solid number, not a range, just a solid number, JH. I hope a 5080 doesn't cost $3,800. We might be headed there, but I don't want it to cost $3,800. You're talking about a whole PC? That can vary. I could probably show you a PC with a 5080 that costs $5,000 or more. But that, like, if you put JH, there are literally motherboards that are over $1,000 just for the motherboard. RAM kits, you can spend $1,000 on a RAM kit right now. So that's 2 parts down. 2. So looking at the fact that you want to do gaming and coding/game design, let's talk about that last one real quick. When you say coding/game design, what are we talking about there? What are you actually doing? Are you writing code, compiling, doing things like that? Or are you using, I don't know, Unreal Engine 5? What are you talking about there? Because I didn't know about the coding/game design thing, because you're not just gaming now, right? I know. I'm sorry. Just saying, once you sit in a car tuned to max and you feel something is illegal, it felt great. I mean, I've had fast cars before. I've had that. I don't want to be in them all the time. I like comfortable cars too. Maybe that's my age showing. I mean, the total PC. Right. Okay. JH, I need you to focus in. I need you to lock in here. Okay. What is, like, regardless of what you end up getting, regardless of 50, 80, 50, 90, what is the maximum budget that you have for a PC? Regardless of parts, any of that, because you chose Boutique Builder. Okay? So, what is the actual maximum budget for your PC that you're willing to spend on the PC? And also tell me more about the coding thing. I write code and do implementations as my day job. Okay. So, you're going to want some CPU cores. That's going to help you out there. Cool. I use my company. Do they know that? When you accidentally hit enter while you're pressing the apostrophe key. I've been there. Daily Dravit says he picked a 011 Vision and Trikes with a face palm. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I'm curious. Why does that make you facepalm? You can put the 360 millimeter radiator as side intake, so not a big deal. Okay, max is 4,500. Perfect. When I ask a simple question, I promise I'm not trying to trick you. I just need that simple answer. The reason we have ranges there is it's a lot more helpful when I'm looking at data like this. But when it comes to your actual build, I need to know the real number. So that's what that's about. I prefer having what's up, Keller82, how's it going? For having a luxury and bells and whistles on my vehicles now. Can't beat the comfortable luxury rides, any of my heated seats, steering wheel, nice leather seats, etc. My problem, Keller, is that I like manual transmission. And I think the only car I've seen come out that is like somewhat of a luxury sedan with a stick shift that's not like BMW priced is even BMW is leaving that behind as far as I know. Unless you're getting an M car, was from Genesis. And they didn't put the big V8 in that one. That made me upset. I just didn't get one. I use my company's VM, so it kind of mute, but I got a 5K, 2K LG ultra wide. I use my company's virtual machine, so it's kind of moot, as in M-O-O-T, not M-U-T-E. Got it. So you don't do coding on the machine you're buying. You're not going to be using it for coding. Is that what you're saying? You're going to use your company's virtual machine. So you're like remoting in. You're not going to use this PC for coding. Is that what I'm getting? Am I understanding you correctly? What happened? What happened to my Twitch chat? Why'd y'all get all silent? Look, this hasn't moved in like 7-8 minutes. What's going on? I'm not saying y'all have to continuously be talking. I don't know. I'm not trying to pressure you guys into just being like, just word salad out there. But I'm just sitting and listening. Okay, fine. Yeah. Lux, what's up? I have no idea here. Okay, that's all good. I was just making sure I didn't have a problem with my chat window here. It's been busy with one thing or like 20. I feel you. Okay, so what we're gonna do, so I don't get like this shouldn't be on here then. Because now we can just focus on something like a 9800X3D, and you don't have to worry about having cores that you're not going to use in the PC you're about to buy. 9800X3D is going to be just fine for remoting in to a company PC to do coding. Acura Integra comp. Okay, I do like the new Integra. I think it's a sick looking car. I think it's a really cool looking car. Thank you, Braxton, for just dropping the emotes. That works for me too, honestly. Pocket Flip says, "No, you're good. It works." Yeah, it does. Thank you. But yeah, Cherokee, I do like the latest Type R Civic and the Integra. They're pretty nice. So looking at this, you chose the right CPU. And when we're talking about now knowing that you just are looking for gaming and you're just looking for gaming and pro gaming esports, yeah, you don't need a 5090. I was wondering if you were doing like Unreal Engine 5 in terms of game design or something like that, and like trying to generate real-time ray tracing and things like that, or trying to do things like lighting sims. So yeah, you're not doing that. You're not doing like fluid simulations and things like that. You're good. About $1,200 PC out the door, all white out with 9950X 3D, 64 gigs, and 2 terabyte Gen 5 trikes and all the matching fans. Yeah, Stints, I didn't see your second message first this time. So I was like, $1,200? Half of that goes to the RAM. That 64 gig kit you're talking about. So here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't, because you wanted boutique, I wouldn't push you towards Trikes. Not Trikes. Yes, Trike. No, I mean, push you towards Skytech. Skytech, if you do a custom system like this, yes, you can have them build it for you. They'll even build it on stream. It's really cool. But they're not a boutique builder. And you're probably going to have more options to customize. You go to a boutique builder, things like that. Like this right here. I wouldn't have picked an NV3 4 terabyte for you. I would say a 2 terabyte Gen 5 drive is going to blow that storage out of the water. I'm not sure that you need 4 terabytes necessarily, unless you play a lot of very large games and want them all installed at the same time. But like, look, a Gen 5 9100 Pro 2 terabyte is $71 less. And it is way faster with onboard DRAM cache. Cherokee Vapor says the Mustang also has a manual. Like I said, though, like, well, I don't know. I've driven the a recent Mustang when I got one for a rental. They just pushed that on me. I didn't ask for a Mustang. It wasn't that comfortable. It wasn't that comfortable to drive, and the visibility sucked in that car. Great car, looked beautiful, but yeah. Yeah, no, I would push you towards a high performance drive, not a higher capacity, sort of more mid-tier drive like this. And you save money. But yeah, no, I mean, you can do a build like this. You can. But if you read what I put there about the difference between price to performance and boutique, I would, and you chose boutique. Skytech is great. If you're going price to performance, they are. I would still push you towards a boutique builder, because it's not just about the PC itself. Because any company that says we build PCs, unless that company's name is Apex Gaming PCs, any one of those companies can actually build a computer, right? To varying degrees of like attention to detail, but still, when you're buying a pre-built, whether it's a pre-configured ready to ship system, or a system where you picked all the parts and they pre-built it for you. They're all pre-built, okay? You're not just buying that computer. You are buying the guarantee of your PC working and the service that will ensure that that happens, okay? The customer service you're going to get, the shipping quality, whether everything, you know, how well everything is packed, put together, cable management, all those kinds of things. There's a lot of little elements to buying and then owning a PC that you might not have thought about. Okay, JH, if chat is delayed, well, I want you to hear the stuff I just said. It would just make it skip that stuff, but Natty said, I found a YouTube Shorts channel that uploads clips of Star Trek, and now I'm wanting to rewatch TNG and DS9 in their entirety all over again. Dang, that's a big undertaking. Good Lord. No DRAM. He would hate that drive. Yeah. I would say, though, Stints, the NV3 did surprise me with not the fact that it has sustained really high write or read speeds, but the fact that it has sustained respectable write and read speeds. Like, it can act, HMB is, I don't know, it's good. It's okay. It's not, I wouldn't like, they've come a long way. But still, DRAM cache is going to be better, like hands down. You two have never liked the way Mustangs ride, even the OG ones back in the 60s. Well, yeah, cars have only gotten, in some ways, I can't really say cars have only gotten better since then. It's sort of pros and cons either way. That's why I took her advice and went to Alexander. I'm almost disappointed I've never had to call them to test it, but it's a credit to their build quality and shipping that it has run without a solitary issue. Pocket Shop, I'm sure if you went and looked in the SI testimonials, you'll find that it's nearly 100% positive, even for people who have had issues. Because computers can have issues. It's not anything against the company if the product they make has a problem. It's how they handle it. Because every product can have problems. That's just how that goes. I hear you, but I'm saying my response to your stream is delayed. Sure. Okay. Okay, so. Yeah, it's a solid drive. Kingston's outpricing those drives right now. A little frustrated with them. Yeah, I feel you. They're making up the NV3s that don't have DRAM. They're marking up the ones that don't have DRAM. Okay, so real quick. Stints. You said 4200 out the door, all white out. What if it was a 9800X 3D instead of a 9950X 3D? Because this PC is just going to be for gaming and, to be more precise, pro gaming / esports titles. So those extra 8 cores, not needed. I don't even think the 64 gigs is needed, but hey, you said 4200 with the 9950X 3D. Are we looking at about 4K with, like before my discount code? Around there with a 9800X 3D? Because you can't, like, honestly, Stints Built is a great choice. So I'm just wondering, since you came in with that info, is that what you're saying? About 4K with tax, shipping, etc. Okay, well, let's go figure it out. Let's go see. What case are you thinking when you say that? And would you build it on stream for JH5773 over here? Jeff, stop stopping me from browsing your site. Just put it off in the corner. Don't stop me from doing stuff. That's you. I complain to every company that does this. Your goal is to get people on your website and browsing. Don't stop them from browsing while demanding their personal information. It's a pet peeve, and almost every company triggers me that way because I'm pretty sure the same advice is going out to every company. Oh, this is a marketing best practice. And then maybe it does work. It just annoys me. Maybe I'm the weird one. O11 Vision, but cheaper if he even goes with a 380 XL. 380 XL. 380 XL. XI? 380. Oh, yeah, trust me, this one with an SI. I was just tired of hammering out problems myself for a change. My last build, the fan came off the GPU twice. Oh, really? My bad for trying to scrounge a GPU that I didn't need a loan for. That's no problem. Genesis, a Hyundai brand. They are indeed. What's up, Young Drippy? How's it going? Oh, 380 XL view. That is a nice case. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Did it get moved? Where do I customize a system? Where do I make a system? Where's the configurator, basically? Where did that go? Okay, here we go. Found it. Sorry. You know what? Hold up. Hold up. Why? Come on. What am I thinking here? There you go. Try that again. There you go, Jeff. Try that again, Jeff. Although I think I found it, so you don't necessarily need to, but I want you to see that you can. So if you're wondering, JH, who I'm talking to, there's an awesome company called Stints Built. That's Stints. That's Jeff right there. That's the owner of the company. And very, very, very well known amongst custom builders and PC builders. It is probably the longest running PC builder on stream that I've seen. I think it's you and Roby, something like that. There you go. You see that? You see that little icon there? There you go. You can post links now. Let's see if this is different from what I just went to. Oh, so I just picked one of these. I'm dumb. I should have seen that. Lux will have that case. Okay. Young Drippy says, I bought a PC from SkyTech Game after watching one of your videos. Nice. It's not the exact PC you quoted in your vid, though. The name of the PC is Azure 3. Hey, you know what? If you were confident enough to be happy with your decision and choose something out like that, I'm down with that. That's good. And yeah, I hope you did the other stuff I talked about, like stacking your discounts, all of that, the code you get with the $50 off, my code, and any Black Friday code they had. I hope you got to take advantage of that. So there's this. Yeah, this is a nice looking case. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. I like the way they angle the side fans there, but we're going to choose it in white. Look at that. That's clean. That is clean. Okay, so JH, this is a case that is actually going to bring down the price while giving you an almost identical aesthetic to the case you were looking at. It just doesn't have the glass top, which I kind of like that because you get better exhaust that way. So let's change this to 9800X3D. It's funny because it's honestly a toss-up in terms of what is the best performing CPU in gaming between the 9800X3D and the 9950X3D. It's kind of a toss-up because essentially the 9950X3D is a 9800X3D with an extra 8 cores on the side that turn off when you start gaming. But when I say the 9800X3D is the top gaming CPU, it's because I don't look at the 9950X3D as a strictly gaming CPU. You get that if you're doing other stuff too, where you can actually utilize that. You could even get the same Trike's cooler. Nice. I didn't know there was a case named after me. I mean, if it's Lux, I mean, there's other stuff that's named Lux. So there you can get the same cooler. Really, it's a really nice cooler. I actually, PC World sent me one of these, and I do want to do a build with it, but the one I'm thinking of doing with it, I have to wonder how the company that's sending me this case is going to feel about it. Because I confirmed Height is sending me the X50 in the Tarot purple. And I asked them, I was like, hey, y'all had the recall on the thick Q80. Is that thing done? Is that finished? Can y'all send me one for this build? Because I'd love to do a 360 in there. And they were like, nope, it's a full recall. Like we're fixing it completely. And I was like, y'all handled that right. You did well on that. Like, good. I'm down with that. But man, that's rough. They did handle that perfectly though. I love this motherboard. This is a freaking gorgeous motherboard. I mean, y'all know how I feel about this one right here. Y'all know how I feel about this motherboard right here. But if we're trying to do, and this works in both a white or a black PC, which is one of my favorite things about it. But this is a white PC, and this would look really good in there. I have done a build with this motherboard. It's super nice. Loving this new M5 case. I got half mesh, half glass. Nice. It may be a bit more on the builder, but if it submits info, I can custom code it with Black Friday pricing. Some of the pricing that is off because of RAM NVMe. We're likely using Crucial or Samsung's Gen 5 right now, so to save cost for consumers. Okay. Well, here's what I'll do. I'll give them the link for this build, and they can add a note. That was them from the stream. Now, one thing, let me ask you this, JH, let me ask you a question. What games are you going to be playing on this? And one sec. Pocket Shop, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it and hope to see you again soon. Take care. Chanel Cerberus. Yeah, catch you next time. I was glad I was able to share that mistake, that happy mistake with you earlier. But yeah, thanks for coming in. Taco Tuesday says I'm saving for an $1,100 PC. I'll tell you, if saving means waiting until sometime in 2026 to get it, that's going to be a tough thing. It's going to be hard to find PCs at that price once we're into 2026 a little bit. Black Ops 7, Warzone, Battlefield, open world games, etc. You shouldn't need 64 gigs of RAM. You should not need 64 gigs of RAM for that. 32 gigs should be able to handle it. So as long as you, yeah, especially if you do things like if you use Google Chrome, set it to memory saver mode, and you just keep your PC not running a ton of apps while you're gaming, like it's going to be totally fine with 32 gigs. That should actually bring the price down a little bit more, but that's up to you. Oh, y'all got that 96. Yeah. That's a kit right there. Jeez. Let's throw the art. Okay, what did you say about RGB? Let's see. You said yes and a lot of it. Okay, RGB RAM it is. In white. Look at that. It's going to be beautiful. So I would say 32 gigs is fine. 64 gigs adds 220 to that. That's actually very fair. This very kit of RAM, Kingston Fury Beast, RGB, DDR5 6000, CL30, is $715 on PC Part Picker right now. Over $700 versus a 32 gig kit, which is $360. So a $220 upgrade is actually very fair. Does that mean you should get it? Not necessarily. But I would say stick to 32. Since what's your thoughts on that? You mentioned 64 right out of the gate, probably because of the budget of the build, right? But I don't know. I would say maybe go for it just because you might pick up Escape from Tarkov or something where it's like RAM leaks. There we go. Okay. Memory leaks. Dead Scum says, how much RAM do you want? Yes. I mean, get it while you can, I suppose. Man, that, like, Stints, had this been like 2 months ago, it would have been like, damn, dude, what are you doing price gouging? That's very, very fair right now. $399 for custom. It's crazy. We have zero margin in memory to help consumers. That's going to be, it's funny because, like, I recognize you doing that now. It is going to have to become the standard next year. Like Q1, Q2, that's the standard, is no margins on RAM. Okay. Now listen, Jeff, you know I don't judge you, man. But like, was this image right here, was this before they had the reverse flow unifans? Because like they have that now. This seems like an older picture. I'll say that. I think that's 40 series right there, isn't it? So like, I'm just saying. You know I don't judge you. At least you have pictures of PCs you built. I mean, look at this. There you go. Bam. Reverse flow, just like that. This is more in keeping of what you would actually be getting, by the way. Except the motherboard is going to have more white on it. It's going to be more color matched. This is the board that I have used in multiple collab PCs, by the way. It's just super good. And I hope MSI gets back to how they used to treat the gaming plus Wi-Fi boards. Anyways, oh, this loaded. Okay. Gen 5, 2 terabytes. So this price might not be what JH. Reverse flow means you see the pretty side of the fan, but instead of that pulling air in and pushing it out the ugly side, it's reversed. Like the blades are pitched in a reverse fashion, so they pull air through the pretty side instead of pushing it out of the ugly side. That's not the best way to explain that, but yeah, there it is. So JH, what we're doing here. No, we didn't brick the builder. It gets a little slow sometimes. I remember this from when it was y'all were first working on it. But JH, what's going to happen here is this is not going to be the final price you're seeing because this might not be showing Black Friday pricing anymore, but Jeff did say he would do Black Friday pricing for you, so you'll need to reach out to him. But I'm going to give you a link that'll have all the specs we're picking here, or Jeff could just look at the VOD, I guess. But he also knows what he's doing, so I'm not worried about that in the slightest. 5080. Now it would be a white GPU, as Jeff was saying, all whited out. So there's that. 1000 watt is totally fine for the power supply. I would go with some sleeve cables. This is going to be a gorgeous build. You're going to want some nice cables on there. White means cooler, right? Right? I mean, maybe. Zelmov, what's up? I may be a tiny bit mentally slow because I just now realized Stints is the Twitch viewer is the same as Stints the website. I did literally say that out loud earlier. Nope, pricing's off. I DM'd it to you. The builders are going through a revamp due to some manufacturers being dated 3 or 4 months out still. Got you. Oh, on Discord. Okay. I was looking at my Twitch DMs. Okay, hold up. Let's not. Hold up. Okay. Okay. So, tax, shipping, labor, everything, with my code 403423, tax, shipping, and labor included, everything. With Black Friday pricing. Oh, the B850 Edge TI board. Perfect, actually. That's totally fine. Instead of the X870E. X870E, not necessary here. The B850 one's not listed. So it'll look something like this, but it's not going to be the exact same board as this. I love the Edge TI aesthetic, though. It looks insanely good in person. And actually, yeah, so, I mean, if we think about it, white does tend to bounce light a lot better than black, which make the computer, like, actually marginally cooler. It's not going to make any kind of difference. At the temperatures we're talking here, now. But if you like RGB, a white build is for you. It will glow because of that RGB. M25s are nice. I like M25s. That might be what you included there. It would be in white, of course. Yeah, so JH, I would say you might want to take advantage of the 64 gigs of RAM at the level of this build. Like, you also, well, you do, actually no, you do play Call of Duty, right? So 9800 X3D does benefit you even at higher resolutions. You could also save on the CPU cooler. This is not necessarily a cheap CPU cooler, but it is super nice. The screen is really cool. But no, this is well under your budget. And also, this is not the correct price right here. It would be after... Oh, okay, cool. Right, TriXmate has fans they sell. That's cool. So they're actually going to be thermal take fans that come with it, but it's gonna look good because you see them right there. Looks nice. Okay, all right. Anyways, so I go here. This is not something you should necessarily reference. This is just so you have something giving you an idea of what's gonna be in there. It's gonna be a different motherboard, yada yada. But all the core components are there. So that's why I'm giving you this. But you will want to reach out to Jeff, to Stints, and tell him, hey, I'm the guy that was on YouTube, and you offered the Black Friday pricing. So you need to do that as soon as you can, okay? Because that's not going to last. That's just something that, because Stints was here, you're getting that deal. Where's the thing for me to share the cards? It might just be doing this. Could just be like doing that. Just sharing the edit link. That's a different Jeff, Alucard. Different Jeff. Okay. How do I reach out to him? Discord? No, I'll give you share cart from checkout, I believe. Where is that? It's not down here. No. Oh, maybe in checkout. Let me see. That could be it. You're right. But yeah, just looking at this, like, this is before shipping and taxes. Like, you're saving hundreds with this just because the owner of the company is hanging out in chat. So also you need to use my code, which is just my name, Braythorn. Hold on just a second before you do that. I was going to say, if we consider a 1 cent change in 0.01 change temperature difference, but I don't actually know how much a difference in temperature white makes. I might have just missed it. Well, while you're revamping the builder, you could maybe make a real obvious share cart thing for big dumbs like me. So what I want you to do, JH, try clicking that link and see if it shows the build with all the parts I chose. But right here is where you would go to put in my coupon code. But I mean, if you talk to Stints, he'll know. And what you can do, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. What you can do is, if you go here, I'll give you another link, and just fill out this build request form. And under special requests, just put that link and say, I was the guy in YouTube chat with Braythorn. He'll know. He'll have the link to the parts, all that stuff. So, okay, it does show. So you have that for reference. And this is where you'll go. Just fill out that form. We had a share cart. I'm actually in the back end right now seeing why the functionality isn't there. Yeah, you're good. If you weren't here, it would have been like oh man, I don't know how to share this to you. Just follow along with me, which I used to have to do with multiple SIs until I just bullied different SIs into adding a share cart. But like, seriously, who needs that other than me? Really? Who needs that other than me? It's literally just for me. I'm sorry. Pride of ownership and ability of having the best you can have is a major part of the cost. John Paul, if we're talking about computers, like, yeah. So yeah, all you got to do is fill out that form with just the basic info and go from there. Like, I think you can kind of speed through this stuff because this is meant for them to do kind of what I do, but for you as the builder, for them as the builder, for you as a customer, instead of me just as a weird in between. And let me give you the code. You shouldn't need it, I guess, maybe, unless you're actually checking out and then you put the code in there. I don't know how Jeff's going to handle it, but that's not up to me. There you go. Rather than share cart, maybe share build, so it's not part of the financial side of things. Either way, it's kind of the same thing, Dead Scum. Yeah, I've seen both, and it equals the same thing pretty much. It's just basically calling a bunch of variables, or like populating a bunch of the variables, like this motherboard, this case, this, that. That's all it is. And there's different ways for different platforms to use that. I don't know. try refreshing your cart. All right. There it is. I see it. Yay. Save cart and generate link. This is better. This is better than the other option, the other link I gave you. Because if I change my cart, I don't know if that'll change things, but still, I'm going to go ahead and... Here. That's just a different link there. There you go. That's second option, I guess. And that's what I'm going to put in here. Thank you very much. Actually, Jeff, that does really help because now I can do this. And it'll stay valid. I know it's not dependent upon... anything more temporary. 0 degrees, what's up? Good job. Good job, Stins. Look at you. Look at you. Hey, you got a fan right there. There's Jordan. And JH, you're very welcome. Happy to help. And now... I think we're going to get in on these Journey Together packs. Let's do one. I feel, honestly, sometimes I feel silly doing this because it's like, I'm a tourist in this category, but I don't care. I'm just doing this for fun. It's just fun. That is a killer system for 4K from a boutique builder. Grab it. Boutique builder. Okay, so this is my first opening of Journey Together from the Mega Charizard X Ultra Premium Pack. Let's see what it gives us. Because Phantasmal Flames was really good. I got some good hits out of that. And this came, that box came with 4 packs of Journey Together. I like it when a pack is well sealed, but at the same time, like, open up, give me my cards. I don't know what the pack trick is here. I'm just going to do 1. It might be 3, but I'm going to do 1. Got Basic Energy, Torkoal, Kamala, Coughing, Shuppet, Escavalier, Brock's Scouting, Volcarona. Very cool Pokemon. I like Volcarona. Okay, Magmar. Love the pattern on this foil here, on this holo. Really nice. Same here, actually. Corvisquire, Hops Corvisquire, and Magmortar reverse. Magmortar holo, rather. Nice. Okay, it's a D. It's okay. No hits, but that's okay. Okay, start. I'll take it. There we go. Done in rings. Fun times, but nothing good out of it yet. I worry that Phantasmal Flames may have spoiled me, because it was really good. Natty, have fun figuring that one out, by the way, on the effect of reflective of white in terms of temperatures in a PC. I don't think it's going to make it. I think it might be perception. Well, all right. JH5773, thank you for the $20 super chat. Let's go, nerds. Thank you for that. Says appreciate the guidance and help. Well, I'll tell you, it's not necessary to get to dono or give super chats or gifted subs or anything like that. I want to help you guys out. It is appreciated. The support is appreciated. Thank you. I do appreciate that. But God, this is literally what I do. I just sit here and talk about computers with people. I did it, I helped my friends out with kind of stuff earlier on in life, and when it became doing IT stuff like that, it was just a thing I always did. So it was a pretty natural shift for me to start doing this, and I like it. I have fun. Thank you for letting me do this for a living. So I should be thanking you guys. But let's talk now. We are. Is there a way to say your name that is Werp? Is it Werp 22? Can you explain your name to me? I am curious. Again, thank you, JH, for that super chat. I really do appreciate it. The reason I don't ask for anything like that to do this kind of help is because you're already spending a bunch on a PC. And if you're going to support what I do in any way, I would rather it be by you saving money rather than spending extra on gifted subs or donos or bits or any of that, or super chats. So the coupon codes you use are affiliate codes. I have them with a lot of different system integrators that have built trust within our community and with me. And that saves you money while also supporting what I do. I'm transparent about it. I let you all know. And it does help me out to do this for a living. So, plus, you know, YouTube ad revenue and things like that helps out as well. Twitch ad revenue, not so much, to be honest. Gonna take the doggo out to bed. Can't wait to see you at CES. Gotta get up early to take skids off cases coming in off freight in the AM. Lights are in chat. Stints, thanks for coming in, buddy, and thanks for helping out with that build. I do appreciate it, and I'm sure that JH is gonna love that PC. JH, don't sleep on that. That's Black Friday pricing. It's not gonna. It's not. That's just a nice thing that Stints did. Erp. Okay, what's up, Erp? How's it going? Cool. So you're here. Let me just mark this as green. There we go. Oh, that's too dark. My bad. I'm gonna keep doing that. Okay. Erp. I'll need to remember that. Okay. Parts lists. So you're building yourself. You're not getting a pre-built. Is that correct? And you shared a part picker list. Look at this. You're like prepared. No, does not want RGB, does not care about being able to upgrade the CPU. Okay. Gaming, content creation, video editing, graphic design. This is good. Just a nickname. He was a U.S. Marshal. Wyatt Earp. W. Earp. I get it. I do get it now. Yeah. Lux has got it. Anyway, Natty said, okay, I'm not going to ignore that, Natty. You put work into that. Okay, turns out I found a paper by Joe Hermans that actually goes in depth, and turns out that practically black or white really has no difference in temperature because while black absorbs well, it also emits well. Most common surfaces are around 10, abbreviation I don't know. And at that wavelength, almost everything has a... What kind of meter is that? I don't know. It's just like... Micrometer? What is that? Almost everything has a value of emissivity near 1. Common paints are at 0.9 regardless of the color. Water and glass also have emissivities of above 0.9. So in reality, it really doesn't matter. Micrometers, I guessed correctly. Hell yeah. Let's go. Stumbling into success over here. Okay, you're building it yourself. And you have a PC part picker. You don't care about upgrading your CPU over time. You just want the best thing you can get right now for what you're doing. And you don't want RGB. No problem. You want the PC in black. Okay, all business, except when it's not. When you say graphic design, what kind of graphic design programs are we talking about here? Anything in particular? Like, okay, let's put it this one. Rather, let's put it this way. Out of the 3 things there, how would you prioritize them? Like gaming number 1, video editing number 2, and graphic design number 3? Or is that reversed, or what's the order of priority here? Not really any per se, just maybe dabble in CAD in the future. Okay, so gaming, video editing, and so CAD would be like 3D design rather than, well, not real. Okay, it's a little different, but still. No, it isn't. Well, whatever. Anyways, it's not exactly Blender, but it's all okay. Whatever. Cherokee Vapor says NetAC 2 terabyte PCIe Gen 4 by 4 M.2 SSD. Is this a good option for extra storage? Cherokee Vapors, I'm going to do what you can do here. If you go to, like, this is not the last thing you're going to look at, Cherokee, for your parts, right? So if you go to the build help thing on Zach's Tech Turf, I just go to this, the SSD list, and I just Control F, and then look up. I guess I'll look up NATAC. Cool, there it is. And then there you have their whole list right there. I don't know the model because you didn't tell me that, so I can't tell you. There's missing information. Maybe there's only a certain Gen 4 drive here. Nope, there's a whole bunch of Gen 4 drives. And some have onboard DRAM, some don't. So if it's... Oh, wow. Hold on. Yeah, so let me see. Looks like they're... NV5000 and NV7000 look good, but if it's the Dash T, not really. Well, for extra storage, actually, no, the Dash T is the... Yeah, that's the HMB one. One doesn't even list it. Extra storage can be HMB. If it's just extra storage, like you're not going to be accessing that stuff all the time, it should be okay. Also, don't have the storage on there. I have a 990 Evo Plus 4 terabyte. Okay. But yeah, let me give you the link to this, Cherokee. Here you go. That way you can look up the exact one and any other ones that you come across, okay? Add that to your bookmarks. It's a very, very, very useful... I mean, just going over here and seeing whether it's entry-level, mid-range, or high-end can be a really good hint. Mid-range is usually good for just any extra storage that you're not going to be accessing constantly. Cool. Okay. Let me ask you this. I know I'm throwing a bunch of questions at you. The form really gets the major questions out of the way. Well, will SSDs be affected by memory prices? SSDs, dead scum, don't need to be affected by memory prices. SSDs are being affected by SSD prices and just the amount of storage that's being sold for data centers too. So it has its own price increases happening. It does, like it's separate, but it's experiencing the same thing, just a little slower. So let me ask you this, Erp. What video editing program do you use or are you going to be using with this system? Is it DaVinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro? What are we talking about? I built one like 8 years ago, still rocking a 1070 and i7. Well, it's good. You get your money's worth out of what you buy. The only downside here is that I'm going to recommend like a 64 gig kit of RAM because you're doing video editing, because that's a really helpful thing. It's like a critical thing for a video editing machine, but man, it's expensive. It's expensive right now. You picked a solid power supply. Yeah, no, that's pretty close to the Montec one that I would have looked at. Yeah, I was gonna try and update that in the future. The thing is, for the next couple of years, probably RAM is gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna get worse. And the thing is, right now we're complaining, and I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. Right now we're complaining about the prices we're having to pay. Later, maybe as early as Q2 2026, we're going to be complaining that we can't even buy memory. That's just, I would love to pay the inflated prices if I could find any, is what people are going to be saying. So you just get it while you can, because with DDR5, it's hard. You can't really. It's harder to add memory to have a higher capacity overall. You generally want to have 2 sticks of the memory that you want, 2 sticks in the capacity that you want. So, like, instead of getting 2x16 to get 32 gigs, you get 2x32 to get 64 gigs. Now, what I'm gonna be suggesting, very likely, because you don't really care as much about upgrading your CPU, I was going to recommend Intel. I've been recommending the 265K left and right. It's the best value in when it comes to content creation. It is the best value in CPUs. It's what I'm using in my editing machine right now as a full-time content creator. And it games just fine. It games really well, especially if you're looking at 1440p or higher, which you are. 1440p. There you go. Where the CPU is less important than the GPU. But there's a reason I'm asking you what program you're using for video editing. Copy. I understand that. Okay. What program are you using for video editing? That's going to help us out here for me to help you make a decision on the platform you go with. Not really sure. It's just something I might do in the future, so it's not critical now. I thought it was second in importance after gaming. So, let me see. 9950X. Yeah. How much is that thing? It is $529. So what you'll find is that if it doesn't beat it, the 265K at least matches the gaming performance of a 9950X, and in some cases, it is going to beat it in quite a few games. And if you look at the video editing performance in Adobe Premiere Pro, it also beats it there. And fun fact, it is half the price of the 9950X. So it beats it in a lot of cases in gaming. It's going to win. It's going to be faster. And that doesn't also make that huge of a difference at 1440p, but there you go. And especially at 4K. And in video editing, it just straight out beats it. In fact, it is pretty much tied with the 9950X 3D, which has higher performance in Premiere Pro than the 9950X. And you look at this, $529. Well, it's about half. It's not quite half the price, but it's close. $529. It depends on what the price of the 265K is right now. It can fluctuate. You're generally looking at like $270 for a 265K, give or take 20, 30 bucks. So $529, no, $270 or so. So let's see. If I'm going to say edit this parts list or start a new one, could start a new one. might just start a new one. I like your choice on the GPU, by the way. 5070 Ti, if you're going to be doing gaming and content creation, is super dope. And it's the same amount of VRAM as a 5080. And in a lot of games, it's going to be like a single-digit performance difference between the 5070 Ti and 5080, and you're saving $250. That's a great move. We can do a similar, if not better move by going over to the 265K instead of the 9950X. 9950X, by the way, 16 cores, 32 threads. That's great. However, when you do start a game, you lose half of those. You're not streaming, so I don't think that matters really. But the 265K is 20 cores. But they did get rid of hyperthreading. So 20 cores, 20 threads. 9950X is 16 cores, 32 threads. But it just depends on what program we're talking about, whether the cores or threads matter more. Why is the 9950X more than just the most recent gen of AMD? It is the most recent gen of AMD. That is the most recent gen of Ryzen 9. It just doesn't feature the 3D V cache. And it's not more. The 9950X 3D is like a couple $100 more than this. Like the 9950X is the most recent generation of Ryzen CPUs. It's 9000 series. Okay, let's just start a new list. Look at this. Look at this. Core Ultra 7 265K, $259.99. I was meaning, why is the 9950X more than Intel? Because it's a flagship CPU. It's their top of the line CPU, other than the 3D V cache version of the same CPU. Yeah, that's their top of the line one. Now, if you said you cared a lot about upgrading your CPU down the line, you said no to that. If you said yes to that, I would say, you know, go for the Intel, go for the AMD one, because AMD is going to give you options to upgrade later, whereas Intel is like, hey, this motherboard gets these CPUs, maybe a refresh, and that's it. If you want to upgrade to a newer Intel CPU, you got to get a new Intel motherboard, and if it's a few years later or whatever. But this is not the top of the line Intel CPU. That's one main reason why it's so much cheaper. It's just that Intel CPUs just rip when it comes to Premiere Pro because of QuickSync. They will always have an advantage. AMD's put up all this talk about smart access video. Where is it, AMD? Why isn't it helping y'all out more? What's going on with that? Well, Intel's been in with Adobe for a long time. But yeah, that the 285K, as you can see, is the absolute peak of Premiere Pro performance. All alliteration aside, you don't need that because you're just interested in video editing. So don't spend the extra $200 because these two CPUs are about the same price right now. The 285K, oh, these two, rather. The 285K and the 9950X are about the same price right now, give or take 20 bucks. The 265K beats all of these on price, like by a lot. And it's hanging with the top dogs here. It is literally like, okay, closely tied for second. We're talking about two digits of difference in a 5-digit number is very close. And it costs like, I mean, less than half of the 9950X 3D's price. And it matches it in performance. It's crazy. So that's why I say, like, if you're sitting there like, wait, how is that so much cheaper? That's why I'm saying, that's the reason I'm saying it is the best deal in terms of price to performance in content creation. When it comes to gaming, if you go, like, I'm going to tell you right now, if you leave this stream and you go like, I'm going to go watch a review on the 265K and you watch the initial review, don't do that. That was like every single product launch is marred with stability issues. It's not Intel. It is every PC hardware product launch, has stability issues. Maybe the BIOS updates helped it out a lot. Intel released a BIOS Intel has this thing for BIOS updates where you can actually get a solid boost in gaming performance now. That wasn't there when these launched. So the reviews are now incorrect and are not useful to you. So you need to decide for yourself, like, okay, I'm gaming at a higher resolution. You could even go up to 4K gaming with that 5070 Ti, by the way. The 5070 Ti games at 4K extremely well. That's what's in this system. And I've done AAA 4K gaming on this system that you're watching the stream on right now. Well, I mean, you're not watching the stream on my system. You're watching a stream from this system. Whatever. Anyway. But I think for your case, because you don't care about upgrading your CPU down the line, Intel loves that, by the way. It's a criticism I have of them. But you want the best, like, you want equivalent gaming performance to the CPU you chose before for way less with better video editing performance for when you get into that. This is the CPU for you. It's what, again, I, as a full-time content creator who is not just mildly interested in video editing, that's what's in that PC back there. And you save money by going with this. I don't see a downside. So anyway, this is why I do what I do. Because I obsess over stuff like that. So you don't have to. Let me see what you chose for your motherboard. Try to do something equivalent. It's a nice looking motherboard. What's the price on it though? So, it's not actually available for 180. It's actually 230 bucks. Why do they even feature this? Available soon. What does that even mean? Soon means what? That's not a date. Copy, that makes sense. I just didn't hear very many good things about Intel versus AMD right now. You're explaining it makes sense right now. So I have come to know and become friends with a lot of the other tech content creators in this space, right? That doesn't mean I don't have my criticisms of them. And for some of them, negative content gets views. I myself have posted some negative videos about certain PC companies. Those videos take off every time. Does that mean that I, as a content creator, want to just make negative videos all the time to farm views? I don't. But I don't have employees. I have an editor for the channel, but I mean, like, I don't have a company that he works for. He's a freelance editor. He does care about the channel, by the way. It's not just a rando. Onware is awesome. Anyways, other channels have their companies that have employees. They have to get views. They have to play that game. And it's like pulling teeth to get them to say anything nice about Intel ever since the 13th and 14th gen problems happened. That means that they are actively avoiding giving consumers good advice. Every time I've brought up the 265K to anyone who's in my field, and I share my perspective on it, they're like, damn, yeah. Okay, yeah. It's like pulling teeth, man. This is one of those things where I feel like if you keep, like, I'll tell you all the time, go get other opinions. Don't just listen to me. But unfortunately, everyone is so in this echo chamber. You know what that means, right? Like, an echo chamber is where everyone is just saying the same things. And what we do is we see what other people are saying, and they're saying the same things. So it's a confirmation bias thing. Like, I'm looking for people who say the same things. Hey, you're saying the same stuff. I am right. Ugh. It is so annoying. Because the same people will turn around and say, we need Intel to do well. We need competition in the CPU space. And then they undermine that at every turn. Look, I hold my friends to a higher standard instead of a lower standard, and I think that's fine. Okay? Anyways. Let's get you an equivalently priced motherboard. By the way, what is the actual max budget? You have a range of 2,000 to 2,500. What is your maximum budget for your system? Not a range, but a dollar amount, like a straight up dollar amount. Because on this, you had it set for $2,059.42. What's the max budget here? We can get an equivalent gigabyte motherboard. It's actually just about the same price, other than the aberration that was the Amazon available soon price, which doesn't help you out at all, by the way. It just gives you an expectation of paying less than what it would actually cost you. 2,100. Okay, let me mark that down. And stick around, Shanala. You will be next. Look what they did. Look what they did to my boy. Look what they did to my precious Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. That was on the AMD side before, but like still, why would they do this to us? There's some really nice Intel motherboards out there. That's just not one of them. I love MSI though, to be clear. I think this is the one that we use here. Yeah, look at this. Look at the difference here, okay? Freaking dual Thunderbolt 4 is awesome. It is, and this is 229. Oh, hell yeah. So dual Thunderbolt 4. How does that help you exactly? I'm happy you asked. If you're going to be doing anything down the road of like of video editing, you're probably going to be doing things like maybe recording your gameplay. That's a lot of storage. So you can get something like a Thunderbolt NAS drive, like Thunderbolt external storage, and record to it as if it was storage that was installed directly in your PC. You can even edit off of that. That's how fast Thunderbolt 4 is. So, nice to have two of those. Plus, every port here is faster. 5 gig Ethernet, Wi-Fi 7. This thing's kind of got it all. You don't need a million USB ports because you're not streaming. So, Anton coming in with that helpful info. Thank you for... Anton is saying almost everyone watching has liked the stream. Thank you for dropping those likes, guys. I appreciate that a lot. It just tells YouTube, hey, whatever's going on over here, this is good. You should tell other people to watch this. And it helps me get helpful information out to more people. Anyways, so that's definitely a consideration right there. Let me look at this Gigabyte Aorus Elite Wi-Fi 7. So this ditches one of your Thunderbolt 4 ports. It cuts your bandwidth in half on the Ethernet to 2.5 gig. Okay. It has about the same I/O on your faster ports, except you also have these 4 USB 2.0 ports. Why is that good? Well, that's where you plug in things that don't require high bandwidth USB, like your mouse, keyboard, a headset, like a USB headset, or USB speakers, things like that. They don't require high bandwidth. So that leaves your faster ports open. So this is also a good option, but if like I personally, I have 5 gigabit internet at home, 5 gig fiber. This would bother me because I can actually use that 5 gig Ethernet when I'm uploading videos and stuff. So that could be a major downside for you. I personally think I would recommend for you the Z890 Gaming Plus. No. That one's trash. The Tomahawk Wi-Fi. This is the one I believe that we put in the Beacon Air, by the way. That's a pretty hefty recommendation on my part because it's a collab system we did. So we'll just add that and you're good to go. Yo, Savage, what's up? Look at that. 7 stream streak. Look at that. Deadscum says, who remembers mucking around with Nagel's algorithm to try and make gaming better back in the day? I didn't, actually. I don't remember that. Wait. Available soon at that price. In stock. Okay, it is in stock at MSI. And it's the same price in stock at Newegg. There you go. Okay. Just ignore the Prime thing. Don't get it. I guess you can't get it from Amazon just yet. Get it from Newegg instead. That's a little iffy. Newegg is fine, I guess, if you're just getting some parts. But motherboards are the one part I would hesitate on with Newegg. You can just buy it directly from MSI if you want to. Does it include, what is shipping? Newegg has free shipping. MSI has free shipping. Yeah, just don't get it from Adorama or Memory C because that's a pretty big price hike. Now, this is the scary part. Getting you some RAM. Let's do the other stuff first. See what we end up with afterwards. Which 5070 Ti did you choose? You chose a PNY OC. That's a good card. Why isn't PSI one of the PNY one of the main manufacturers here? Come on. There we go. Same card. Good to go. What case did you choose? Montec Air 903 base. Solid case. It's a solid case. Does this need fans? It should come with at least two. Yeah, two fans right there. Okay, you should be good on that. Okay, I just got to do it from here. Sure. Liking that Montec choice. That's good. Oh, look at that. 7. Wait, Lux, I feel like yours is higher than 7. It's more like 107 or something, or 307. I don't know. You're like the most consistent lurker here. Tinkers with the TCP IP stack to improve network efficiency. It's funny, Detscum, I didn't get too much into the networking side of things until, like, I was into the hardware side more until I got into network admin, my network admin courses. I just figured it was tantamount to magic at that point. It's really funny. I'd optimize my hardware, but like, it wasn't until I was in my 20s and I started going to college for it. The real question is if the Wi-Fi motherboard is worth more than the cost of buying 50 meters of LAN cable and a whole afternoon setting it up from your router to the place you want it. I say that as someone who has drilled a hole in my door in order to feed the cable. Your door? You could go through the walls. Like, just don't hit the stud. You can go through the wall. The door. Why the door? A wall is so much easier to patch up and make it look like nothing ever happened. Air 903, the only modern case I know. Really? Montec has a lot of really nice cases, though. Let's see. Storage, you don't need. Power supply. So I'm going to have... You chose a good one there. But I'm actually going to say... Like, let's look this up real quick. So the thing is, I don't have... I don't go down every rabbit hole there is just to be the most knowledgeable in everything. I'd rather never be the smartest person in the room. I like to learn stuff from everyone around me. But like, that's why I just trust those who have gone down that rabbit hole and I look at their tier lists and whatnot. So let's look up the... Which one was it that you had? You have the A1000GS. Okay. And that's a 1000 watt. A-GS. There it is. That is A-rated, actually. But this has only one 8-pin PCIe cable. that can be a problem depending on maybes, and some house. That could be a problem, but it has a very good rating. What I'm looking at here is the Montec Century 2 Gold ATX 3.1 1050 watts. Also A-rated, does not have any notes about missing 8-pin PCIe cables. And it costs less by about, I think, 13, 14 bucks. So I'm going to recommend that. There it is, Century 2, $99.90. So it's 10 bucks less. But it's not missing 8-pin PCIe ports. And also got Cybernetics Platinum rating, which is very, very good. Wait, what did that say? Newegg has it. Okay. Yeah, these are shaking things up, I feel. Oh, no, here in Brazil, we got cement and brick walls. The door was the easiest option. All right, I feel you there. That's fine. You don't want to have to get a masonry bit out and an impact drill. Only one build. Ah, that's fair, Anton. Every dollar counts. It does. And that's $10 that can go into something else. Okay. Also, you're saving $200 on your CPU. Like, we're way ahead of the game here. It feels like cheating. Seriously, the 265K feels like a cheat code. I use it every day, and it's awesome. Like, I can say that. Welcome back, Tan May. Okay, so memory now. Like, we can totally, that freed us up to go with 64 gigs of RAM. Now, I have a hope here. I have a hope that you will discover that you love editing videos, like you love making videos, because we need more people out there who love video editing. I say that just as someone who just finds it as a necessity unless I'm doing a fun montage, okay? And I do have fun with those. But with just like having to watch myself for an hour and a half of me yapping and trying to cut that down to 30 minutes, like that's why I'm like, my brain doesn't work for that. It's not good. It's not good. Also, it's just weird to stare at yourself and listen to yourself for that long. I'll tell you. Other than monitoring my mic, I don't want to listen to myself for that long. I'll tell you. It's just weird. It's just weird. Anyways, so with the thing about it is, if you discover a love for video editing and you're like, oh, making content, like this is awesome. I got a few people viewing it. That's going to go up. Like, and, I'm just going to keep trying things till they work out. Like you just keep at it. Whatever, you're going to wish you had that 64 gigs. I'll tell you, it can fill up pretty quickly when you're editing things like 4K video. Oh boy. Nobody wants to edit anything unscripted. Tammy, that's why I pay well when it comes to video editing, usually. I try anyways. And I think, honestly, Tanmay, I'm pretty good at the unscripted thing. I'm not that concise. But maybe it actually doesn't help that I say a lot of things that are on topic when I'm going unscripted. I don't know. But like you look at all my content, it's unscripted. The only scripted content that I have planned is pre-built, rebuilt. That's it. Because those have to be concise in order to be easily digestible, easy to follow along, all of that. Oh, I don't need storage. I meant RAM. Memory. All right, let's get you a good kit of RAM because we opened up room in the budget for that with what we changed. We'll go 6400 CL32 for Intel there. That's a great kit for that. And, that's 32 gigs. Now we got to choose 2x32. And that's where things get ugly. These are the cheapest kits. Oh, this one went down. No, this is different. It's different speed. Yeah, almost $700. You cannot easily outsource unscripted unless the person was there when you were recording. See, the thing is, someone like Onware knows my content and knows the topic. So Unware knows, he knows like, oh, this is important, this is not important, yada, yada, yada. Why am I choosing the white one? No, this one. Here we go. So this is what happened to RAM. This kit used to be $269 on Newegg. $269. It has tripled in price. Now, if you want to go 32 gigs, I'm going to tell you a fun fact about AMD versus Intel. AMD has a lot of things going for them. Having the best memory controller ain't one of them. Intel has that right now. And I've actually run an Intel system on 4 sticks of 16 gigs to get 64 gigs. It's possible with Intel. And to still get XMP. I would not recommend that to anybody on AMD. But I was saying earlier, right? Like, we can complain all day about the price of this, and it might not even fit under the budget. We can complain all day about the price of it, but at least right now you can actually buy it. We might have to go with a 32 gig kit. And that be that, right? Let's go ahead and hit add to parts list and see how it shakes out. Oh my God. Oh man, we made it. We made it. 64 gigs with a... Oh, there's no cooler. Never mind. Never mind. We didn't make it. We didn't make it, chat. Damn it. What cooler did you choose? Oh, well, at least you chose a really good priced one. Let's just throw it in there, see how it comes out. Thermalright Frozen Edge. 69. Nice. Really, Thermalright? That's what you... Okay. Okay. We're just going to pick Thermalright and go with the low-priced 360. You want 0 RGB. That's actually going to cost you a few dollars. It's going to cost you $6. But okay. And that's $54 over. So, yeah, you can go 32 gigs of RAM. I wouldn't blame you if you're just starting to sort of dip your toes into... Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. Just wait. Hold on. What if 2x24? Huh? What if 2x24? Intel, better memory controller. It can handle it. For those of you who know, I know. But no, you're thinking about AMD. AMD can sometimes have issues with 24 gig sticks of RAM. Or 12. Well, not 12. Yeah. No, not 12. 24 gig sticks of RAM. It can have issues with that. So to get 48. Or 48 gig sticks to get 96. That's AMD. We're going to min-max this. Okay, lowest price. No way. Really? $396? Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, though. This is in between going 32 gigs and 64 gigs. You go 48 gigs. I think this is the best bet. This is just over the price of a 32 gig kit. And guess what? No RGB. We did it. We did. That's what I'm going to recommend. That's it. Look at that price difference, man. Look at the price difference. $700 versus $400. It is literally $300 more to go from 48 to 64. Yeah, 6400s on Intel. 6400 CL32. I know my business. I know what I'm doing. I do still sometimes go 6030. I know. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Would you recommend a different cooler? Not necessarily. You're totally good with the Thermalright Frozen Edge. This is totally fine. Thermalright is killing it right now, and far be it for me to stop them. I don't see why. Y'all don't understand. I want to make something real clear. One of the reasons that Intel got steamrolled in reviews. You need a little context if you haven't been in this for a long time, okay? For the longest time, every reviewer under the sun would praise Intel for their gaming performance while also being really hard on them for power draw and temps. Like, oh, this thing's surface of the sun. Oh my God, you could just bake, whatever, bake a cookie with this CPU. I don't know. They would always say it's too hot, uses too much power. Intel says, fine. 13th and 14th gen had amazing gaming performance. Let's match that with lower temps and lower power draw. Better temps, lower power draw. That isn't easy to do. And they did it. And then they came back and said, hey, here's better gaming performance too, with a boost. And people who had been yelling about temps and lower power draw for years were like, oh, it's now at the top of the gaming charts for 1080p. This is what we asked for years. Thank you, Intel. Now do it for more than one generation of CPUs. See, I say thank you and then offer constructive criticism. So this thing, the temps on the 265K, totally manageable. Absolutely manageable. A Thermalright cooler is a 360 millimeter Thermalright AIO is good. It's fine. It's about the same performance bracket as most other AIOs. Would you go AIO or air cooler? You can go with either. I like the simplicity of an air cooler, yes, but my bias is towards AIOs, and it's for a very specific reason that doesn't affect you. It's because I work mostly with system integrators, companies that build a lot of PCs, or even if it's just a few PCs, and then they have to ship them, usually across the country or something. And you have to imagine that it's much safer to ship a CPU cooler where most of the weight is mounted to the chassis, not hanging off of the motherboard, right? So I default towards air coolers. If you ever have to move this thing around, you will be happy that the only sort of thing you worry about is the GPU hanging off the motherboard and the case, not your cooler, that if it shifts while you're moving things, you have to remove it, replace the thermal paste, and repaste it and put it back on, or else your temps are going to suck. So AIOs to me make a lot more sense. I've been using them for years. I have never had one leak. They're not what they used to be, where they were kind of a gamble. Like, they're totally good now. So John Paul says randomly, hold on, you might be. John Paul just randomly said 64 gigs or higher, maybe even a 96 gig kit. I don't even know what part of the stream you're watching right now, my friend. But yeah, we got you under 2K. So if you want to make any embellishments on this thing, you want to change anything out, you have free reign to do so. I think we did pretty good. Now, this is because we didn't have to put storage in this thing because you already have it. That could be a consideration. You might want to think about adding storage, or hey, here's the budget for your secondary monitor, because you're actually $240 under budget. You're welcome. And that $200, we saved that just off the CPU. And this one's going to perform better when you go to do video editing. And it's going to perform as good as, if not better, in terms of gaming. Like, this was the move. No problem. This is what I do. Sorry for yelling into my mic at Intel earlier that y'all had to be. It's like I'm mad at this company and I'm making it your problem, viewer. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, new list for you. There you go. New list, who dis? That's literally what it is whenever I rant. It's like, I'm mad at this company and I'm making it your problem. That's what that is. Oops. I made myself sad just now. I saw this and I thought it was another pack of Phantasmal Flames. It's one that I had. I need to get a trash can in here. Instead, I'll just usually have a bag or something that I'm like putting it all in, then I throw away the bag. I need to get a trash can in here. I'm sad. I was like, another Phantasmal Flames. Yeah. No. Nope. I opened all of those. It treated me quite well. I have a lot of Mega Evolutions. How many do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Mega Evolutions packs. I had some from the Mega Evolutions box, ETB, and then I got some from the Charizard one. But I don't know. I kind of want to get these side ones done. So I have... Okay. Still 3 more Journey Together. Scarlet and Violet Journey Together. And then, which is going to have things like certain trainers and their Pokemon and things like that. It's one of those things. And then I have a single Destined Rivals and 2 Surging Sparks. So I can keep going with Journey Together. That's what I've been opening on this stream. And I have 3 more of those. All right, Shanala, are you still here? I'm going to open up a pack, but then it's your turn. You are still here. Okay. I am looking forward to helping you out. Okay, so this is my second pack of Scarlet and Violet Journey Together. Let us see how this does. Let's see if we get any hits at all. I don't know the chase cards for this. I don't know much about this. That's the problem when you get one of these ultra premium packs and it just has all these random sets in it. Unless you've been doing this for a while or you just really did your research, which I didn't, and I haven't, and I didn't. It's like a nice variety of packs. Yeah, it's nice to get a variety, but when I'm trying to keep everything together in my binder, it's a little hard. Or if I'm trying to sort bulk and things like that. Like if I'm looking up, like what's a good strategy for this set or whatever, you know? These also have been the harder ones to open for some reason. Good Lord. Bro, really? Okay, there we go. So it did seem like it was just one card before. So, could be wrong. Basic Energy. Purloin. All right. Professor's Research. Not the professor I had, but that's okay. You know what? Let's zoom in and let that stop shaking. I won't stop shaking, but the camera can. Okay, there we go. In case anybody's wondering, yes, I do have essential tremors, so my hands shake. It's no big deal. So Cutie Fly, that is a really, like, this is Lily's Cutie Fly. Like, everything about this card is actually adorable. Petalil, okay. Hop's Bag. Wait, this is Scarlet and Violet. Why? No, wait, yeah. It is Scarlet and Violet journey together. What's Hop doing here? Pangoro. Pangoro is an awesome Pokemon. Grimmsnarl. Okay, Reverse Virizion. Actual trash Pokemon in competitive VGC, but a cool looking Pokemon, that's for sure. Swinub. And Meowscarada, my first starter on my first playthrough of Violet was Meowscarada. That's a great card. I like that card. And it's not doing Flower Trick. That's unfortunate. Flower Trick is a goated move. Always crits, if you didn't know. Always gets a critical hit. Where was I putting these? I'm not like putting them in the binder during stream now. I do it after, so I'm trying to keep those together. But okay, there we go. That means it is Shinola Cerberus's turn. This one's probably going to be pretty easy too, because I see you do already have a pretty good option selected there. You know what I haven't even talked about? Metroid Prime 4 came out. After, what, 8 years, Metroid Prime 4 launched. And I wasn't even paying attention. I just saw that Oats was playing it. Oats and Goats was playing it on stream. I was like, wait, what? I go click, and I'm like, no spoilers, and I went and bought it. And you know what? I don't know what other people are saying. I don't care. It's good. It's really good. Everybody was making fun of the bike, like the motorcycle thing. The controls are a little floaty. To be clear, controls are a bit floaty, but it's fun. I think if we don't get more people to help, I'm probably going to finish off those Journey Together packs anyway tonight. I just want to get those out of the way. And then once we're done, we can go back to all of those Mega Evolutions packs, those 10 packs I've got. Well, after I do the other extraneous ones. Oh, I didn't mention this, but because as I told you guys when I started this, I'm not doing this to get hits. I'm not doing this as like, oh, I'm investing. I'm going to make money off Pokemon cards. You're gambling. It's gambling in a way, okay? If you look at it that way, you're gambling. If you don't look at it that way, if you're a collector, if you're trying to collect, or if you're trying to play the TCG, it's a completely different context. I don't like gambling. I'm like, I want to open these, look fun. I want to play the game. Yeah, let's go. This artwork's awesome. Whoa, this card, that Pokemon's cool. It's one of my top 10. That's what I'm in this for. To be clear. I hope it doesn't change. I can't speak for future me, but I don't intend for that to happen. Bergie, what's up? You said anyone with the PC respects it? I did. We're on our third one. We're just waiting for Shinola Cerberus to come back. Your sick PCs builder might be a solid option for this one if I think I saw what I saw. Well, yeah, it's a solid budget for sure. They did, however, pick the Gladiator from Alexander PCs, and that is a really good computer. Like, it's a really good computer. 5080. They already chose the 9800X3D 5080. The motherboard is really good. It's not necessarily my top pick for a streaming PC because of the bifurcation that you can get on your second PCIe slot, but the bottom PCIe is PCIe 4. X4, so you can put a solid capture card in there. 32 gigs DDR5 is there. Actually, what is it to add? It's only, wait, no way. He hasn't updated that yet. $110 more for 64 gigs of RAM. What am I to do? Should I say to upgrade that? Because that's going to change. That has to change. It is not a $110 difference. It's like a $300 difference between those two kits. I wouldn't go with 1 terabyte of storage. I would go with 2. What does that put us at? 4267. before my discount. Maybe he is sitting on inventory. He is not. I can tell you that. You know why, Bergie? Because of y'all. Almost everybody who has bought a Legionnaire has chosen 64 gigs of RAM, whether they needed it or not. And I think it's partially my fault. So it depleted his 64 gig kit inventory. Legary, what's up? Welcome. Anyway, as I was saying, I didn't get into like opening Pokemon packs between helping people and doing all that to gamble and try to win it big. That's a losing game. Very easily a losing game with Pokemon. It's more for like a few aspects. I like I don't have anything that I really collect. And I thought that would be a good option. Kind of. I love Pokemon as in the video games. I love the artwork. I like Pokemon in general. And I want to learn the card game. I want to learn the game. I want to play it. Maybe build a couple decks. Maybe when I travel, find a shop when I'm not working. Find a local gaming place and just go play some games if people are playing. Stuff like that. But as overpriced from MSRP as the... Well, okay, it did come down. But the Mega Charizard X EX Ultra Premium pack, box, whatever. This just... I'm not even through all the packs yet. Just these hits that I got, when I went and looked what they're worth, this pays for more than half of it already. Like if I were to sell these. Raw, ungraded, whatever. Like, so that happens sometimes. Sometimes you get nothing. So, but I'm just like, that's a good start, right? Like that's a good start. I'm cool with that. That works for me. I was hoping talking Pokemon would summon Shinala back, but I think I know what might be happening. Hold on. I have an idea. I think I know what's going on. Okay, that's what it is. So Shinala is a mod for Silver Lugia 860, who is now streaming. So I'm just going to send a quick DM and let Shinala know that it is their turn. If I can do that. There we go. Okay. Just thought I'd do that real quick. Okay. Yes, I messaged the right person. Just wanted to make sure. Micro Center is now charging $874.99 for 64 gigs, 2x32, DDR5 6000 CL30. What brand is it, though? Shinala is a mod for not Silver, but Silver Lugia. Silver Lugia 860. Oh, that is Corsair Vengeance. Yeah, there you go. Honestly, look at Clev. See what Clev is costing. But the thing is, guys, I might have found the meta. 48 gigs. It's a solid increase over 32. And it's way less of a price increase. It's not as popular. And if you go AMD, it might not work quite as well. So, but the thing is, Intel isn't the meta, but the 265K is insane. So, yeah. Bergie, we've heard a lot of things like that about people who spent less on their RAM earlier in the year, and we're going to continue to hear it, and it's going to get even more clamorous. The sound of those cries shall become even more clamorous in the next year. It ain't going to get any better, that's for sure. Oh, if y'all are, by the way, wondering what that is, I am trying to put together the best IRL streaming rig for CES that I can. Something that will hold my phone and my Osmo Pocket 3 and where did I put it? The hub that connects all that together with the battery that charges it all on a monopod that I can carry around very easily and hold up and stuff, or just place down and just talk to y'all and walk y'all around CES. I think that would be super dope. Planning on buying a PC for my friend, primarily used parts. Can you tell me how my planning's going? 3060, 5800X, DDR5, 32 gigs. I'll tell you right now, Legary, that DDR5 32 gigs isn't going to work with the 5800X because that used DDR4. So planning needs a little work, but I think you're on the right track. Needs DDR4. To abuse your AIBs and see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their customers. Anton, there you go. That's my version of that. So you're doing it, eh? What's the date for it, and what is it difficult to get into? Was having some trouble looking for tickets for it. Yeah, there's a public day, but otherwise you do need to be an industry person to get in. Essentially, it's the dates are I don't know. Is it the 6th of January? Hold on. Yep, January 6th to 9. Nice. Essentially, if you want to like get in, I mean, you can basically apply under someone else's channel if you're going to be working with them, essentially. So if like you were going to be like, hey, I'll work the camera and stuff for you, and you know, let's hit up CES, cool, you basically would apply under my channel. I didn't know you were planning on going, so I obviously wouldn't have brought it up with you, but I mean, if that helps you get in, cool. This could be better. Just found it. Bywin Black Opal DW100 DDR5. I've never heard of Bywin RAM. DDR5 6000 CL28. What's the price? You didn't. Oh, 419. Okay, yeah. No, what we found was this. It was. Yeah, 48 gigs, DDR5 6400 CL32 for $396. Team Group T Create. Solid memory and a brand I've heard of before, which, you know, was thinking about it before, but was not sure about it. Yeah? Well, see, the thing is, Tanmay, it can be hard for me to work with used parts because I can never predict or guarantee the quality of the parts, the pricing of it, all of that. Yeah, PC Part Picker is where you do that, generally. Bywin is fine. PC World covered it. Oh, okay, cool. Well, they're more expensive than team group, I don't think I would go get that route then. But if they come in under that, then absolutely. I gotta say, as a streamer, so Stream Elements and also Twitch does this thing where they have these things where like, hey, sponsorship is available to you, and you do it through Twitch or Stream Elements or whatever, and it's so weird to think about. Doing a sponsorship with never having spoken with the company before and not having them reach out to you or not reaching out to them is just a weird concept to me. And I think that's because I come from being a YouTuber to streaming, although I started with streaming first, but my first success was with YouTube. Sponsors reach out and you talk to the people who are in charge of that sponsorship. Rather than, hey, here's a list. Pick the one you like, play the game on the stream, and there you go. It's weird. It's kind of weird. 48 is a sweet spot. I was watching videos and one person was testing 48 gigs and it was so smooth, you really barely see a difference. Well, Christopher Adams, the thing is, this person was talking about wanting to get into video editing. That's a completely different experience from just gaming. So I don't know. It really depends on the bit rate and just the amount, like the size of the footage, of the frames, all that in the footage that you're trying to scrub through in your timeline. Because as you're pulling that thing, your computer is scrambling to render those frames and put them in memory, and you need space in your memory. So if you're doing like 6K open gate raw footage, like that's a lot of data, a lot. S-Log3 it's good because it's more dynamic range, more data, and so you can mess with the colors more, things like that. You don't blow out the whites as much. The black levels are better. You get more data. But that takes up more RAM if you're not using proxies and you have it at full resolution. These are the kind of things that when you're first getting into it, you don't know in video editing. You need to go to the preview and put 1/4 resolution or half resolution. So when you're scrubbing through or playing, it's playing at a low resolution. Doesn't look as good, but when you pause, you see full resolution. Okay, that's what that frame looks like when it's going to render out, when it's going to export. I can help with some things to test used components. Well, you're talking about people in the community? Well, the price is close, but the 6000 CL28 justifies a few dollars more. If it's Intel, yes. If it's AMD, you don't go 28. You go CL30. But if it's Intel, Intel's just like, cool, it's faster. That's nice. AMD's like, oh, that's not 1-to-1. I'm going to slow down. I use like OCCT and FurMark for GPUs, Cinebench for, so it's like testing new hardware too. Yeah. Wendell Level 1 Tech has been recommending 48 and 96 gig kits and testing them on all kinds of boards. In my editing PC, I put a 96 gig kit. Never looked back. I don't like, I mean, it's, again, I'm editing some pretty high, high bit rate footage and all that. Or just like large footage, like good quality footage. And I'll also do things like, oh, cool, I need to make an image for this. While leaving Premiere Pro open, I'm going to go into Photoshop and I'm going to make an image real quick. Boom, I drop it in there. Cool. Or I make a graphic, drop it in there, that kind of thing. So running multiple demanding programs at once is part of video editing, actually. Something I rarely mention, but more because I just take it for granted. Can I ask about a RAM kit and see what you think about it? I don't, sure. I mean, really, RAM usually just comes down to the base specs, but I mean, sure. I bought it for my friend. He trying to build his own computer. He wants a 9800X3D CPU. Question mark? Yes, sure. Basically testing new hardware, but monitoring a bit more carefully to see if there's any issues with it, like if the GPU needs to be repasted. Right. Like with a kit of RAM, you run mem test. It's annoying and boring, but it's accurate and good. power DDR5 64 gigs Storm RGB. You put RGE, but you meant RGB, right? I don't know the brand power. I mostly just deal with the mainstream brands. You'll usually hear more about brands like that from PC flippers and stuff. Memtest is great. It just takes forever. Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. I used to run it whenever I would like overclock RAM too, and like I hate RAM overclocking. You'll never catch me doing it manually again, ever in my life. I just don't like it. Do the Legionnaire have slots for 4 sticks of RAM? Yes, but for DDR5, you don't really want to go for 4 sticks of RAM. You go for 2. DDR5, you get 2 sticks of the capacity you already need. So because like DDR5 doesn't work as well as DDR4 did when you use all 4 sticks. We're just not there yet. It's different. With Intel, you have more possibility of doing that, but with AMD, you don't even think about it. You do 2 sticks of RAM, and if you know you're probably going to need 64 gigs, you just get the 64 gigs. With AMD's memory controller, you don't put 4 sticks and expect it. You can do it with the JEDEC speed, the base speed, like maybe, 5600, but you don't expect 6000 CL30 with 4 sticks of RAM on an AMD system. It just does not have as good a memory controller as Intel. Just seen Bray in a Nerd on a Budget hot take short. I was in the short. Oh, nice. I was in the video. Yeah. Dodger Dog. I think I posted something about it in the Discord. Silicon power? Could be. Do you know the cast latency? CL30, CL36, maybe? Those are the 2 numbers you need. You need the frequency and the cast latency if you're just shopping around for memory. You need those 2 things. I run Memtest overnight, but that was always an extra charge, or I tell the person to get ECC. ECC, so it's funny because Linus Torvalds was on LTT and he brought up a really good point about ECC, because one of the big selling points, one of the big marketing things about DDR5 is that all DDR5 has ECC. That doesn't mean you have ECC between the CPU and the memory. It's just within the memory. So if anything goes wrong between the CPU to the memory, you will never know. So in a professional context, that's kind of bad. Now there is full ECC, registered ECC DDR5. That's what you would need in a server or like a professional system, basically. Like it has to be compatible. So you do Threadripper or something, you do actual registered ECC, servers, things like that. I'm glad you told me that. I got the 64. Well, I mean, if you're doing something like video editing, then yeah, 64 gigs is good. But now that prices are changed, what's going to happen is this, guys, okay? Things like a sweet spot for pricing, like right now, we just found that 48 gigs, if you're trying to do productivity stuff, is probably the way to go. That's going to change, because the more people find that out, the more they buy out those kits of RAM. And also, it doesn't really work for AMD that well, as far as I know. I haven't tested it in a long time. So 48 gig, 96 gig kits for AMD, I just kind of don't go that way. I do 32 or 64 gig. But as people find, oh, hey, 48 gig kits are not that expensive, like they're just a little bit more than 32 gig kits, people are going to flock to it, and then that's going to shift, and it's going to be like, okay, now we have a shortage of that. But people weren't buying 32 gig kits because of that. Now those have gone down in price. Like, it's going to be a volatile market while we can still buy it. The problem comes when we just cannot buy it. Ooh. There's a set, looks like there's a 7-star Dragapult raid right now in Scarlet and Violet. Dragapult is awesome, because I see Silver Lugia fighting Dragapult the Unrivaled in a Terra raid. That's super sick. They get insane stats. They get the title the Unrivaled, or they get a medal or something like that. It's really cool. There's a whole video, and Coalition Chris is on there too. Nice. Yeah, I mentioned that video a while back. It's a really good video. That's where I brought in the whole, like, for gamers, the only benchmark that matters is enjoyment. And it's in a video full of tech content creators, so I thought it would make more of a splash than it did, but there were some hot takes in there. So yeah, David had a really good one, and it was about how he thinks this whole thing about needing more than 8 gigs of VRAM is a bit overblown, and he's right in a lot of ways. Like there are tons of people, like the majority of people in the Steam hardware survey don't have more than 8 gigs of VRAM because they're playing with like a 1660 Super or something. Or, well, when the 3060 was the most popular card, yeah, that had 12, but like still, you can do a lot with 8 gigs of VRAM because most people are still gaming at 1080p. 1440p is growing faster than any other resolution, like more people are buying that than anything else. But the fact remains, most people are still gaming at 1080p. Realize it's super late. All right, you got it. Take it easy, Alucard. Okay, Bone Shock, where it's going to be then is going to be in the SKU. It'll say like 32ALDF C30 or C36. There's a C and then 2 digits. That's probably going to be in the SKU somewhere. But that's the thing. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's fine, probably. The new DDR5 motherboard and CPU cooler combo is insane, says Joey. What's up, Joey? Hi. Okay, cool. That's it? Just motherboard and CPU cooler? Okay. Is it insane, though? What's up, Gary? I was fitting to overdo it. Well, that's okay. ECC gets bad rap because it means so many different implementations. There are also other features that AMD EPYC provides where it reports ECC CPU error to the kernel. Yes, that is very useful of it. Something I had forgotten. But not on consumer EPYC/Ryzen. Right. Question, Alexander PCs only uses Windows 11 Pro versus Home. Does it operate the same? Yes, it operates the same. Yeah, you're really not going to see a difference. There are some features there that you're probably never going to use, but that's okay. I almost went with a 12 gig card, a 4070. You would have survived. You would have been fine. Unless you're trying to game at 4K. That's when 12 gigs can sometimes be a little not enough. For real. It's DDR5, 32 gigs of RAM plus motherboard and CPU cooler. Cool. Like, that's what I meant was that's it, is like, you're not going to say any details of, like, I care what motherboard it is, what CPU cooler it is, and what DDR5 it is. If you're paying a cheap price for cheap hardware, you're just you're getting what you pay for. So, yeah. Shinala is lurking, it seems, but I don't think they're coming back. So, unless they said something and I missed it, no, I don't see that. They'll stop by on the next stream. It'll be fine. I'm just gonna, let me see, what have I got left here? Let me do these last 2 Journey Togethers so these are done and out of the way, and also I just want to, so let's do that. All right, let's see. 2 more packs to go of Journey Together from that Mega Charizard XEX Ultra Premium thingy. Got, what was it, 4 total out of that? Of Journey Together. No hits yet. Let's see what we get in this one, then we'll do one more. I have noticed that these Journey Together packs are harder to open than any other ones I've gotten so far. They're just like that. Let's see what we get. Ooh, I was hoping for basic energy. Okay. Hops Corvus Squire again. Okay. And Sigalith. Billy and O'Nair. See, it comes out to say billionaire and they're rich. You get it? Okay. Pancham. Pancham's cool. Alolan Marowak. The loneliest Pokemon, but the one from Hawaii. So, in case you're wondering. Wheezing. All right. Virizion. Again, just a non-holo one. And we have a reverse Snorlax. Look at him. He's having a tantrum right there. He's angry. That's Hops Snorlax. Oricorio reverse. That's a cool card. Look at how much purple we've got there. That kind of goes with... I don't know, guys. Which Oricorio card do we prefer? This one or this one? What do we think? I think I prefer that one. And last but not least, what do we got? Mimikyu EX. Oh, looking sick. I like that. That is a dope card. Not the full art. Still a really cool card. I'm just getting a lot of purple here. I'm real happy with that. That's fine for me. Mimikyu EX. Nice. I like the stars in that holo. Look at that. That is a cool card for a cool and spooky Pokemon. Sherman, what's up? Sherman Tank. My new outdoor smart plug won't connect on the porch. Is there a mesh network you like and prefer? I recently grabbed the... And I've seen recommended many times the TP-Link Deco. I'm having some latency issues when I'm at the farthest mesh point, but the consistency of the connection is really good. And if you go to rtings.com, TP-Link Deco wins all the number ones. So I could recommend that. So yeah, that's good. I'm actually putting this one in a top loader. I like this card a lot. I don't care what it's worth. It's just super dope, and I want it to look good forever. I don't know if I'll get people in here who play the TCG, but if I ever do, I want y'all to tell me if cards are really good in play, by the way. That'd be cool. No problem. Yeah, TP-Link Deco. Just get one that suits the size of your home, and they'll usually tell you, oh, if you have this size, this many square feet, get 3 base stations, or if you have this many square feet, you can just do 2, that kind of thing. A special illustration rare is the bee's knees. Didn't get the SIR, but are you talking about the Oricorio? It is. If that's the one you're talking about, yeah. All right, for Journey Together, get some last pack magic is what I always hear. Let's do that. Let's hope for it. Oh, here, I got something for that. Here's hoping for some RGB magic on this last pack right there. Bless it for us, would you, buddy? Thank you. And Ameridan, thank you for making that coaster. I found a new use for it. Okay. All right, starting out with some basic energy. Mincino. Toadstool, frolicking through the forest. Mr. Mime. Okay, not creepy, all good. Showing toes, that's great. Okay. Sprigatito. I love this. This is really cute. This is, we got this earlier. So to go along with this Meowscarada Hollow here, we have Sprigatito, the first form of Meowscarada there. Love that. That's just cute. Okay, we got N's PP up. Just what I wanted to do. You're welcome, N. Pelipper. Ends Cling Clang. Reverse Shelgon looking intimidating up there. Sorry, I don't know, Dodger. That's what the card said. You saw it. You saw it, chat. Don't cancel me. You saw it. Lombre reverse, and I like this water pattern on it. I mean, a lot of these patterns are really cool. And ends Reshiram hollow. That's pretty dope. But no big hits from Journey Together. No full arts. Nothing. That's all good. It's okay. We've gotten some pretty good hits from this. I do like this Reshiram. It's pretty cool. It can go in the overall binder, but I don't need a top loader for that. It's just a cool card. But there we go. We added this Mimikyu EX to these. I was going to do just all full arts for these. Sorry, Don, I'm not trying to leave you out of. I was going to go all just full arts for top loaders, but I really like this Mimikyu EX. Like, no looking up the price, I don't care. This is super sick looking. I will take it. How far is it up? I don't know, Dodger. Why don't you ask N? We also got a few of N's. Look. Ask N's Reshiram. Okay, that's the guy right there. Okay. We got this guy's PP up. Are you proud of me? I'm not proud of me. You're welcome, N. Okay. That was a button, and I don't know what that button just did. Okay, cool. That was fun. That was fun, guys. Didn't we have fun? I had fun. And look, now I have a really good use for the RGB. I wish I had a plushie of RGB. If the channel gets to if like say pre-built rebuilt goes off, channel gets to 6 digits. We hit 100K subscribers on YouTube. I will make an RGB plushie because this dude needs to be a plushie at some point. I even had the people at Fourth Wall who do my merch and who have a company they go through to make plushies. They were like, yeah, that needs to be a plushie. That seriously. They had a thing at TwitchCon, a mixer brunch thing that a lot of people went to, and that was basically anyone who uses Fourth Wall went to that, and it was really cool. But yeah, okay. So we helped some people. We did only a couple PCs today. I was kind of expecting that. We talked about Micron. That was fun. And how it's not completely all doom and gloom. Not yet. Give it time. So that's that. Yeah. And then we ripped some packs and had some good times. And then the best part was that y'all stuck around so that we could have fun doing a raid. And I think I saw, Silo, thank you for jumping over. Scan the kit sticker with a Google Lens. That should direct you to the product page with all the details. Hey, that's a good idea. But Silo, thanks for moving over. Tanmay, basically. Anyone who's watching on YouTube, one of my favorite things to do at the end of the stream is to take y'all to another stream through a raid. It's good for the streamer. It can be good for y'all. You can find a new favorite streamer potentially. I think I'm not rating Oats and Ghost for one thing because he's playing Metroid Prime 4 and he's ahead of me. I don't want any spoilers. Otherwise, I totally would. Bastion Blue is streaming right now. Bastion is super cool. Manly is streaming Demon Souls. We just raided Silver Lugia 860 last time, and that was fun. Beat 'em Ups is streaming Metroid Prime 4, but like again, spoilers. Also, they don't know who I am at all. He doesn't know who I am. Who else is up right now? Who else is streaming right now? Probably going to raid. Yeah, we're going to raid Manly. Because Manly is always super nice. Now, a thing I want to remind you guys of. I have given myself a rule of trying not to cuss on stream unless it's especially funny. No, I'm kidding. I just don't do that. I try to make this sort of a place where absolutely everybody can feel comfortable, including those who are uncomfortable with cursing. So it's like, whatever. I make it family friendly. And also, I don't want
the YouTube AI overlords to cancel my channel for whatever reason. So, that's my rule. If you don't like cursing, though, that's not a rule other people have on Twitch, especially, which is where we're rating somebody on Twitch. They could immediately start cursing, and that is actually pretty common because they just got rated. Okay, so go in knowing that. If anything, give me the next 90 seconds of your time. Make someone make my night better and someone else's night better. Hang around, say something nice to them, whatever, or maybe even hang out and find your new favorite streamer. Honestly, you need to watch Manly Reviews on YouTube. His video game essays are some of my favorites on the platform. Period. I can't believe this dude's my friend because I was a fan before that. So yeah. Also, it's not like we've like hung out a million times, but he does call me a friend. So it's funny how that works out. Anyways, let's go raid my buddy Manly because he's a super cool dude. And Brace sometimes raids drunk people too. That's not my fault. I don't always know. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, just understand that, you know, who knows? It's a surprise for everybody. Okay. Let's go and head on over. Thank you guys. Oh, wow. It went from 30 viewers to 17. I shouldn't have said anything and I should have just raided immediately. Damn it. God, what do I need to say? What do I need to do? To like, y'all who are still here, obviously you're still here and you're down with it. But like, do I need to just help more people for free? Like with more gusto or something? I don't get it. What do I do? How do I get people to stick around for raids? I went to half of my viewership. Did I talk about it too long? Should I just do it? I should just raid, right? But like, oh well, what are you gonna do? Let's just do it. Let's move. Let's go on over there. Okay, it's CL32. That's not bad, Bone Shock. If it's for 7,000 or 9,000 series Ryzen, it's not perfect, but I mean, you get what you can right now. That's just how that works when there's shortages and overpriced stuff. I don't think they you know, I think you did fine. All right. Well, I guess we'll go and raid Manly Reviews now. It'll be fine. And I appreciate y'all. Every one of you that is here, I appreciate you. It's, you know, it's jarring when like, you know, 40% of people just like, oh, I'm out. He's going to say something that's going to be like, hey, stick around. And I ain't doing it. Those of you who did, thank you. You're awesome. And I appreciate you. That's going to be it. I'll be back on Sunday night. There is a chance that I'm not. I'll explain in a Discord announcement if that's the case. It's going to be for something cool, though. That is maybe it's up in the air right now. That would mean me maybe traveling Sunday night. But that's it's very last minute if that happens. I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to be it. I'll see y'all potentially on Sunday. And till then, take care. Oh, hold on. I didn't even set this stuff up. I need to do that. Wait, did he go offline? The jerk went offline. I was about to raid him. All right. He's not my friend. He's a jerk. He went offline. Okay, let's raid Bastion Blue. Bastion Blue Succubus. Awesome VTuber. Plays retro games. And is very, very nice and funny. So let's do that. All right, guys. See you Sunday, potentially. Keep an eye on the announcements channel, or keep an eye on the announcements channel in the Discord, and I'll let you all know there. Till next time, take care.
Let's go, nerds!